Tomorrow, clouds on the increase, but dry during the daytime, high 73. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Wednesday night as a cold front approaches, and maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning. We need the raindrops. Cool Thursday and Friday with highs around 71. Lots of sunshine by Friday, and a great weekend after that. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
An opinion piece written at the start of this week for 1819 News by the most listened to talk show host in the state of Alabama has now caused chaos for the phone lines to the offices of U.S. Senator Katie Britt. Alabamians were calling the senator's office on Monday to express their opinion after Leland Whaley of Talk 99.5 wrote about Senator Britt's opportunity to show courage and adherence to the voters' mandate for a Trump agenda. Whaley says Britt should be voting for the next Senate Majority Leader who will not impede Trump's plans. Britt has yet to make it known who she'll be voting for and has not come out unashamedly for Florida Senator Rick Scott as her colleague Tommy Tuberville has done. Whaley says that Britt appears to be a player in the corrupt system and is afraid to buck the political wishes of Mitch McConnell, the establishment leader who helped Britt win her Senate seat. Whaley says now is Britt's chance to prove his suspicions to be unfounded about her behavior in the past 2 years while in the U.S. Senate and come out strongly in favor of Trump's America First agenda. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
A plane clearly belonging to the Harris-Walz presidential campaign was spotted at the Mobile Aeroplex in Brooklyn. Photos were submitted to the Jeff Poor Show on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile in order to confirm that sighting. The plane has Harris-Walz painted on the sides and is apparently in Mobile for a paint job to cover up those names. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Yes?
Howdy, ma'am. I'm Bill, the electrician.
Oh, hello, Bill. Say, I like your houndstooth hat. Bama fan?
Well, sorta.
Oh, you're also wearing a War Eagle sweatshirt and a Troy jacket.
Yeah, well, I grabbed a hot wire last week. Kinda scrambled my brain.
Electricity is nothing to trifle with. That's why you only want electricians who are safety conscious and code compliant, like the experts at Crosby Electric.
Okay, ma'am, you take this 2x4, and if you notice I ain't saying much, give me a good knock on the head.
What?
All Crosby Electric team members are trained to make safety our #1 priority, to avoid dangerous situations.
All ready to go, ma'am. Just have to connect this wire and...
Oh, Bill, are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Good as new.
Yeah, sure. Who's your favorite team?
Pistachio?
Don't take chances with electricity. Call the experts at Crosby Electric or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
I'm a better-looking person than Kamala.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Man, the transition into a new Trump administration continues. And it's kind of why I always play this clip. Don't expect too much of politicians, folks. it's this era of good feelings right after a campaign, but well, it's a fascinating time to be at least a watcher of American politics. And joining us to discuss that and a few other topics, we have the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how you doing today?
Well, my dear friend Joey. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I took a nice break from the politics over the weekend, and now I'm starting to get into it. Lately in Alabama, we've been pushing one of our senators, the junior senator, Senator Britt. Well, you know Senator Tuberville, and he's backing Rick Scott to be the new Senate leader, and I think Tuberville's great on many issues, but Senator Britt's not, she's not being public about it, and it seems the senators up there all of them don't want to be public. Do you think this makes a heck of a lot of difference, the type of Senate leader the senators actually choose?
I don't know the answer to that. I know all three of them that are vying for it. And I don't think that Rick Scott has the support amongst his colleagues. And that's one of the reasons that the vote is in secret. You
Yes.
probably figure out who voted for whom, but not with certainty. I mean, the president-elect is showing his authoritarian tendencies already by trying to control another branch of government, by asking that the Senate go into recess, which under the Constitution allows them to make a recess appointment. A recess appointment does not require Senate confirmation. Now, why he would want that, I don't know. The nominees that he has made are just so far a Republican version of Joe Biden's nominees. Neocons all so far, particularly if Marco Rubio becomes the Secretary of State. I can't imagine, as inappropriate as that appointment is, I can't imagine it being rejected by the Senate. The Senate would never reject one of its own.
No, but that Rubio pick in particular, I hope that's just a like throwing out a flare to see people's reaction, because that's so disappointing. Rubio is I think one of the worst choices that we've seen. Is there though something Trump could do to surprise you that would be constitutional, that he could do quickly, that you would go, all right, at least we got that particular thing done?
Well, I don't think he should have appointed Kristi Noem to run the Department of Homeland Security. I think he should abolish it. I don't think he should appoint the head of an FBI. I think he should abolish it. Now, I don't know that he's going to do those things right off the bat. He appointed Governor Noem to run the Department of Homeland Security. I think the same thing about the Department of Education. We'll see what he does there. What would thrill me is if he appointed Colonel Douglas McGregor as Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State. That would show a realistic understanding of foreign policy needs. If he runs defense, he would shrink the budget and shut down half to 2/3 of our foreign military installations. If he appoints Professor Sachs as Secretary of State, he already knows every diplomat in the world, and they already respect him, which is far more than I could say for Senator Rubio.
And also, for folks who don't know, Colonel McGregor was advising Trump in those final days in 2020 in a pretty official capacity, right?
Colonel McGregor had I don't know if it was Senate confirmed, but it was a pretty high-ranking full-time position in the Pentagon as a civilian, not as a colonel in the Army, advising Donald Trump. Trump never took his advice.
Now, there's another name being floated out there for head of CIA. That would be Kash Patel, who has been very vocal about wanting to release things like the JFK files, as well as some other stuff that people are interested in. I mean, I just can't imagine that these folks, the deep state, would kind of take somebody like that running the show, take it lying down.
I don't think so either. I mean, the last time Trump was in the White House, he appointed two former CIA agents to run it. One, her nickname was Bloody Gina, so you can imagine what her job was like. And the other was the one who planned and plotted to assassinate Julian Assange, who eventually was promoted to become Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo.
Oh, and I guess he threw out Trump threw out something to the masses. No Nikki Haley, no Pompeo. Did that over the weekend. But then you see these other picks, and it's almost like the government is built for these hawks and these neocons. It's like if we tried to appoint, say, a Colonel McGregor, the system would go into, an allergic shock. Its throat would close up.
You saw my piece from last week. What if the only reason we vote is because it doesn't make a difference?
Well, it's a good
Makes
way
a difference in personality and temperament, but not with respect to foreign affairs. Netanyahu will get everything he wants. It'll make a difference in Ukraine because Trump is against the war in Ukraine. But the Washington Post reported, which basically means the CIA wanted it reported, that Trump told Putin to dial it back. Well, if he told Putin to dial it back, that would have been the shortest conversation you ever heard. You can't tell that to Putin. He's not about to dial it back. He's within a couple of months of achieving his every goal, which is to liberate the Russian parts of what was Russia and eventually became Ukraine from Kyiv. He's within weeks of achieving that.
Now, with this transition that's ongoing, and the foreign policy aspect of it's fascinating, I agree. I don't believe a word out of the corporate press. I think there are a lot of different games being played, and so had this conversation with somebody else. But the transition, one thing that is true, I think we can confirm to be true, is how unusual this transition is. Trump's doing it from Mar-a-Lago, and he's refused to sign, and this is a little esoteric for folks, but in below the line, but he's refused to sign a lot of different say agreements and memorandums of understanding, work with general services, and ethics law. So it's almost like he's keeping his cards close to the vest, and he wants to almost do his own transition independent of what, say, people in government right now would want him to do.
Well, by not signing those agreements, he doesn't get a $10 million budget. Now, maybe that's peanuts, and he's got the campaign funds to spend on it. Theoretically, he would have to tell his donors that he's using that money for a non-campaign purpose and offer it back to them. But he also doesn't get what he ardently desires, which is access to national security secrets. So I don't know why. The ethics issue might prohibit or preclude some of the people that are advising him from advising him because they have ethics issues. I don't know who they are or what the issues would be.
Now, it broke this morning as I was preparing that Judge Merchan in the hush money case has postponed actually sentencing Trump for about a week here. What's going on with this?
Well, actually, he didn't postpone the sentencing. He had an application before him by Trump's lawyers to reverse the conviction. And their theory was that even though much of the events that took place that formed the government's case occurred before he was president, critical parts of them occurred while he was president, and therefore he's immune. I think that is hogwash because the immunity ruling by the Supreme Court only protects official behavior. Signing checks to Michael Cohen is hardly official presidential behavior. Nevertheless, he chose not to rule on that today, but to give both sides more time to advise him of the significance of any ruling in light of Trump's election. My opinion is he's going to kick the can down the road, not rule on this, not sentence, and just let the case sit there in abeyance, in which case Trump can't be sentenced while he's president, and they can't impose a sentence that affects his presidency. So I don't think there'll be a sentencing until January of 2029. Who knows what the world will be like then, if Justice Merchan will still be on the bench in that court, if there will be any ardor or enthusiasm for doing this.
And
what side of it is he should have ruled. He shouldn't kick the can down the road. Judges should rule. The public is entitled to decisions, whether they're popular decisions or not.
And given you bringing up the Supreme Court there and that precedent they set with immunity, what do you think the makeup of the court might be going forward? Because, and I don't know all the ins and outs and say the unspoken rules and traditions here, but could it be that, say, Alito and Thomas retire early and you end up with this so-called 6-3 conservative majority? I mean, where do you see this going?
Well, I don't think the 6-3 will change at all, whether Justices Alito and Thomas stay on the bench or leave. If they leave, they'll be replaced by like-minded people appointed by Donald Trump. If they stay, there's no change. The issue is, will Justice Sotomayor leave involuntarily because of health issues? I can't imagine her leaving voluntarily during the Trump administration. There are some Democrats that wanted to leave now so that Joe Biden can replace her with somebody who's half her age. And she's not that old. She's 70. This is what they tried to do with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She refused to leave, and they ended up with Justice Barrett, who for some of us is terrific, but not for the crowd that wanted Ginsburg to leave.
Oh, right. And it seems like the court, that 6-3 could become much younger. And I saw Sotomayor coming out saying, I'm not leaving. She made that, I think, a public statement about that. But you got to wonder, well, time kind of gets to us all. You never know. I'm trying to look for things that are solid because, as I told you, I think last week, it's like my favorite wrestler won WrestleMania, and it's fun to celebrate the show. But then I've been trying to tell folks this whole week, the system is still the system, and it runs a certain way. So hold on to your butts. We'll see if Elon and Tucker Carlson, the whole Joe Rogan Twitter people, have more influence than we think. They seem to have picked a president.
What is Elon going to do? Trump wants to spend more money than Biden did, and he wants to cut taxes. And Elon thinks he's going to reduce the debt. I mean, he must, unless he's going to put his own billions in there. I don't know how he's going to do it.
Yeah, I don't see it, other than you can use this new media apparatus to really put pressure. And you're seeing them, I think, do that with this Senate leadership race. We'll see if it works out. Let's see how powerful the new Twitter X actually is.
I know. Well, what is Twitter X? Some new X, or the X that we now know?
It's the X that we now know, formerly known as Twitter.
Right.
And it just seems like we're in a new age of, as you know, independent media. And so far, entrenched Washington still wants to believe that everybody believes the New York Times and the Washington Post, unlike us. So hopefully you'll see some cracks and some daylight. I'd love to see the JFK files released. I would love to see Ross Ulbricht let out of prison, at least, however you do it. Certain promises Trump made. But again, it's sort of a wait and see thing at this moment. I always appreciate your time. I was watching and listening to you and Colonel McGregor on the ride in. If folks want to check out Judging Freedom, how can they do so?
Well, they can go to YouTube. I just had a fascinating, as you know, and we're kind enough to mention, conversation with Colonel McGregor. That's now posted. Scott Ritter yesterday, Matt Ho and Karen Kwiatkowski coming up today, Jeff Sachs yesterday, Phil Giraldi and Professor Mearsheimer and Max Blumenthal and Pepe Escobar and my usual crew coming up as the week proceeds.
Well, I appreciate it as always. We'll do it again soon. God bless her.
Okay. Thank you, Joey. All the best, my friend.
Again, folks, that is Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always appreciate his time and insights, his, I would say, principled takes on what's going on in the world. Eddie Bader is here. How you doing, Eddie?
Pretty good. How you doing, Joe?
I'm all right. We also have Byron Sheehy. How you doing today, sir?
Doing well, gentlemen. How are y'all?
I'm all right. And we have another gentleman here. I need to add his camera to the stream. Seth Spotlow is back again.
Hey, man.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Yeah, you look good, man.
Though, I mean, I am trying to... You saw it there when the judge brought it up. Rubio? Really? Rubio?
How tall is Rubio?
Not tall. I can tell. When he's actually in a photos next to other people, and he's like got his arm out and the suit isn't draped over him, you know, I'm like, oh, that's how I look. I know how it is. That short guy arm sort of
Not
thing.
even where I was going.
Yeah.
But I don't think one short guy should.
I was
insult
cutting you
another
off
guy.
at the
I know you
pass. I
did.
was making fun of myself, or you could make fun of me. But Rubio, really?
What's so bad with Rubio SOS, man? I gotta ask. I mean, isn't it mostly ceremonial?
No, Secretary of State still got a little bit of pull. Little bit.
Arm twisting on the back end?
Yeah. No, and we previewed this, the other day that the guy running the transition for the secretary for the State Department is Brian Hook, who is Mike Pompeo's number 2 guy. Like he's been around. So yeah, again, it's like the government is built for these types. And if you try to put anybody else in there that isn't of a like mind, well, good luck with that. But again, we do live in a new media age, and you're seeing big players push. They picked the president. I think that is plain as day, that Elon and team, especially with a big help from Joe Rogan, they picked the president. The question is, can they now actually influence and control the swamp? I'm skeptical of that. Let's say if this Senate leadership thing is a great example, folks, that you can put millions and millions of eyeballs and messages into inboxes and all this stuff. The Senate is going to do what the Senate does.
Yep, they're going to do what they're going to do.
And if you don't like it, well, you're learning. You're learning that the system still sucks. It's it's, at least we're having fun learning or something like that.
The transition for most of the cabinet positions, what I was reading earlier this morning, the America First Policy Institute seems to be conducting most of that.
No, I like that. I like that Trump is also not playing ball with the deep state on all these kind of back-end documents that they're wanting him to sign.
Yep.
Because he's like, I don't need the intelligence briefings.
Right.
I've did this for 4 years. I don't need your money, because if he signs this agreement and gets the $10 million, $10 million, then he has to disclose everybody, all the stuff that's going on within the transition team.
Yeah.
If he just raises the money privately, he doesn't have to declare who the donors
and
are.
I don't see his donors not giving him that
The
money.
money's already raised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would think
and this was started, Linda McMahon, and I'm trying to think of the other guy. It's a fella that's running the transition team. They've been interviewing people for months. So, I mean, we'll see how it shapes up, but.
$10 million dropping the bucket to that man.
Rubio!
Brooke Rollins is the name to know. She's the power player behind it.
Brooke Rollins.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Face matches the name.
Really?
But I do have to say, I know the judge didn't sound as excited, but I am, when I saw the name Kash Patel for CIA, I'm like, okay, what is this strange feeling of hope? He goes and picks Rubio, and now he's throwing Kash Patel in my face. What do you do? Is this how it's like negotiating with this guy? He's a big question mark.
Tough negotiator, no doubt. Man knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's good at it, man.
Yeah.
So, again, we'll see. And also, some of these folks have not been officially named. I wonder if some of this is
just throwing it out
media.
there?
Yes. Just throwing it out there.
Well, there's 2 you can be certain on. Susie Wallace, Stephen Miller.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Those folks are in.
Susie cemented.
And I think Tom Homan in.
Oh, yeah.
As the head vice.
No doubt.
As the borders are. But, yeah, I don't know about some of these others. When I saw, like, Christy Nome from Homeland Security, I'm like, what? What?
It seems like
really from the Dakotas, from South Dakota.
Loyalty. I mean, he's said for years that he learned the first time.
Or maybe Trump's gonna confirm our Democrats and left wing friends' worst nightmares. I'm renaming it Department of Fatherland Security. And I'm the Faja. And, yeah. Let's hope he doesn't do that. Or else I'm going to join the resistance.
I don't know.
Oh, wait, don't you.
You know, I think there's a few people we can probably automatically strike off, and that's going to be anyone that would have a position that would be an appointment from a Democrat governor. So you can take Paul off. Bashir's the governor there. He'd make the appointment.
Right.
Ron John in Wisconsin.
Right.
Isn't probably off any list. Evers would have the appointment there. And there's I think North Carolina may still have a Dem governor. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you got to wonder, because the Republicans did just break over the last day that the Republicans have officially taken the House. They're at 218. So that's a very good thing.
Yep.
Thank God we won't have any surprises in that regard. But you do have to wonder, again, the swamp pushes back. The machine in the system is still what it is, despite this amazing story and this amazing election victory. So, I don't know. We'll be covering like all this breakdown of what's going on. Trump also plans to visit Capitol Hill ahead of visiting Joe Biden, which is kind of that, tradition.
Hey, everybody.
Ingoing meets the outgoing. And, hey, Joe, we did it. Thanks for putting the hat on. Appreciate it, Joe. But then you also saw this, him moving to Capitol Hill could be interesting to see what he's actually, like, why a sit-down meeting all of a sudden while you're up there? Is he making a play to influence Senate leadership? You saw Melania Trump has declined Dr. Joe Biden's invitation to the White House, the sort of formal tradition right there.
I'm glad she did.
Yeah, and I think she, her reasoning was because y'all raided Mar-a-Lago.
Yep.
You raided our home.
I'm not going to pretend like you guys didn't try to do us in.
Right.
She told her she could keep her fishnets.
Well, and it is amazing. Like, it's every time a first lady comes up, the corporate press, starts making her out to be like this supermodel, like cover stories and like the most professional makeup jobs and designer clothing. And it's all this. And I'm like, yeah, but you look at all of them. You're like, that ain't a supermodel.
Far from.
Yeah. I mean, that's barely even Girl Next Door level. What is this? You literally then get a supermodel.
Yep.
Melania Trump, who folks like, she took nude photos. Go look them up. It's not even untoward. It's like she looks so good naked that it's like, that's a respect. That's art. That's art.
If you got it, flaunt it, right?
But you have this woman who speaks 5 languages?
Oh, yeah.
Freaking beautiful.
Sharp.
You can tell she doesn't like suffering fools, especially that clip that was released about her, like, oh, the Christmas decorations. I got to do the Christmas, and nobody gives me credit for the Christmas. I don't need to do the Christmas. You have her, and yet, any cover stories?
No.
Any treatment of an actual supermodel like a supermodel? It's just another example of how bad the corporate press is.
Well, she's sharper than most of these other girls.
I'm sorry I'm so worked up because it's Rubio. Why did you pick Rubio?
It's not official.
You should be standing up for your fellow short guy.
Yeah, man. You guys can, eye level,
Right.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Crabs in the bucket, man.
Yeah.
Crabs in the bucket.
Well,
Or,
the Polish
in this
people
case,
and the Cuban
short guys in
people
the bucket.
historically do not get along.
At least you can just stand on the bucket.
Oh, and by the way, do we think Senator Britt should vote for Rick Scott as Senate leader?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matter?
Mm-mm.
Well, at least do it for the folks then.
I mean, you got to kowtow to you got to play the game, man.
See, I want to know, what is this game?
You
Bow down,
want,
kiss the ring of the
you want a
man.
committee chairmanship at some point?
Yeah, you want a gavel?
You want money to come back home to the district?
Hmm.
But what if somebody, not her, but just somebody said, you know what, screw you, I'm going to do it my way. Is there no other way around it?
I mean, you can do that. You better be able to have the name ID and stand on your own 2 feet, that you don't worry about any, action fund coming after you or find somebody to primary you or anything like that.
But almost impossible.
No, I'm not going to say it's impossible. It just makes it way more difficult, lot more strenuous around primary season. You don't want a primary.
I get that, but I also want a strong leader, someone that's not afraid to put it out there.
A Fasha?
Yeah.
Oh, you're falling into. You're falling into.
Counter argument. Why vote for him if he's not going to win and it's going to cost your state?
If nothing else, to me, you're supporting the Make America Great movement. And if he's not going to win anyway, what do you got to lose? I mean, you lose. I think the people of her state want her to do this. If she doesn't do this, then it goes back to the reasons I was hesitant to ever vote for in the first place. Is she just big government?
Well, and here Tuberville was pressed on another talk show here in the state about his choice and what Senator Britt might do, because he's very publicly come out for Rick Scott.
Right.
And here's a quote. He says, she was on, referring to Britt, Tuberville says, she was on leadership. I say leadership in quotes. I don't know what she did, but she was in all the leadership meetings, which they meet every Monday going into session during the week, and they kind of come up with the ideas they want to push towards us in the direction they want us to vote, Tuberville told this who is it, McLean? But again, it's up to her. I'm not going to try to persuade her, Tuberville said of Britt, because again, she was elected like I was, and you've got to feel like you're representing your people. We'll see what she does. Again, I'm not going to speculate, but we'll have to wait and see how the vote goes, because the vote is a secret ballot, but it will get out, says Tuberville. It will get out pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens. Well, that sounds like a promise that the vote will get out.
Well, there's no doubt it will.
The person who's got to be the front runner in this is the whip who's, built those relationships and collected those votes.
Yes.
Nobody probably has a better understanding than
would be Cornyn?
I believe it was Cornyn.
I would suspect if I had to put a bet down, and right now, poly market bets do not look good for Rick Scott.
It was Thune.
It was Thune.
He was the whip.
Huh. See, I just feel like Thune, I don't know.
He's a couple years younger, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know. You're right. It is the inside game that they're playing here. And I think so much of the outside presentation, public statements that all the senators are making, well, here's what they want in a leader. You're only getting like a little glimpse of the story. You're not getting the story of like who's got the money, how they're going to wield that money with carrots and sticks, like who has the control of committee assignments,
Why are we
like
all
sorts of stuff.
Okay, but
why aren't we hearing that?
Because it's their game. It's not our game.
Right. I mean, but don't we want people to be educated how this system works?
Oh, you would think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We all enjoy sausage, right? That's all. You don't want to say
depends on
that.
what you're talking
All
about.
right, so-
Yeah, especially Rubio.
So check this out. Trump just had a landslide victory. He's shaking up shop the way that he, kind of did the first time, but a little bit more energized this time. If you're the establishment, you're going to double down on making sure that you have someone in charge of the Senate that's going to do your bidding. So I'd look for Heritage and those sort of groups to really exert their sway, whatever they have.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Hey, I got to hit a break. But first, as part of the program, brought to you by, well, the Goodson Group, Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're the Goodson Group. Bo and the team are ready to help you with buying or selling your home or property here in the River Region real estate market. Bo's been working in this area for nearly half a century now. So he's seen it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And not only can they help you there at the Goodson Group with buying and selling, they can manage that property. They have management services should you want to rent out your home, which is a great idea in this market. Say you're having to move and you don't want to sell all of a sudden. Why not have the Goodson Group for a reasonable fee do it for you? And then the crown jewel there at the Goodson Group is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School. It's one of the most highly acclaimed real estate programs in the state. Because of Bo's experience he's bringing to bear, it makes it a very interactive course. But the proof is all the folks that have graduated from Bo's school gone into great success, whether it's fully licensed realtors, it's a great way to study up for a real estate license test, or as more knowledgeable private players. So check them out today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of the program.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, DJ Fresh, broadcasting live for Blue Water Broadcasting. Hey, it's our annual holiday food drive, folks. And right now, we're collecting non-perishable food items right here on location at Rick's Jewelers, located at 1992 Fairview Avenue, right here in Prattville. I'll be here until 12:30 noon, where you can drop off dry goods, canned goods. We're looking for the non-perishable food items. So feel free to swing by on your break. You can also go to our Blue Water Broadcasting websites for more information on other drop-off spots. But today, it's Rick's Jewelers, located at 1992 Fairview Avenue, right here in Prattville. The holiday season is approaching us, and we want to do what we can to help those in need. So with your help, we can make that happen. Once again, join us for our annual holiday food drive benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. I'm DJ Fresh, broadcasting live for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
If you need to rent equipment, you need it fast. You need it to be right, and you need it to be easy. In other words, you need Thompson Rents. We know exactly what you need because we live and work where you do. Our business is homegrown and local, just like yours. Since 1957, Thompson has been with you every step of the way, with equipment to rent or buy that fits your needs and your budget. Today, we've got it all, like Cat compact equipment to rent or buy, including skid steers, backhoes, and mini excavators. Plus, allied brands like Genie, Toro, Almond, and Finn, with pumps, aerial lifts, carry deck cranes, light towers, and more. All backed by people you probably not only know and like, but who you can absolutely trust. So visit ThompsonRents.com for more details or the location near you. Thompson Rents. We're here for you.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This is Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. Adams Drugs has been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for over a decade and have gone from 7 stores to 12 stores. We attribute our success for what they've done for us. Thank you, Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the horizon as a midweek cool front approaches, but today should be pretty nice with abundant sunshine, comfortable day, high 79, mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, overnight low 58. Tomorrow, clouds on the increase, but dry during the daytime, high 73. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Wednesday night as a cold front approaches, and maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning. We need the raindrops. Cool Thursday and Friday with highs around 71. Lots of sunshine by Friday, and a great weekend after that. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. It's good to have the full crew here, and we have a very special caller on the line. We have the one, the only James. Hey, James, how you?
What am I supposed to do with that, Joey?
Whatever you like, sir.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the accolades. Government. That's what we're talking about. The inner functioning or inner workings of government.
Oh, yeah.
Government works according to what we know in the textbook, right, Joey?
No.
Of course not.
Yeah.
That's what we learned in our civics classes or in government and economics as to how government works, and then there's actually how government works. And as far as you and I know, government is run by people, and so that should be enough said about government. Your JFK files, I don't foresee those being released anytime soon, and the reason being is because people that were involved still have descendants walking around on the face of the planet.
Right. See, but that just makes, you're right, but that just makes me want to see it even more.
Oh, I'm with you. But there is a thing called retribution. Can you imagine if there were certain people that you and I probably are on the same page there from a particular section of this country that had a hand in or knew what was about to take place, and how the descendants of JFK and those descendants would interact with one another? I mean, that would be news in itself, would it not, Joey?
Yeah. You just do have to wonder who would actually get the most fallout from this. And it seemed Trump was ready to do it, and Pompeo convinced him otherwise at the end the last time.
That was probably wise. Yesterday, I mean, we all make mistakes, and I've got one. It worried me. Well, I shouldn't say worried, but it concerned me most of yesterday, and early this morning, I'm like, Arlo. It wasn't Arlo, it was Woody Guthrie. Okay? You with me? The folk singer from yesterday?
Yeah, it was Woody Guthrie, not Arlo Guthrie.
Correct.
Who's Arlo?
Arlo was his son.
Oh.
Somehow I was thinking yesterday when I was talking to you, it was Arlo Sr. and Arlo Jr., but it was not. It was Woody Guthrie. He was the folk singer, and then his son was like from the 60s. You follow me?
Yeah, I'm glad we've cleared this up.
Oh, well, I know. It's almost as important as the Rubio pick.
I know. Rubio? Really?
Joey.
Rubio? Don't say his name. Rubio! No!
Here's what I will recommend to you. A walk in the woods. Have you ever been over the Swayback Trail in Wetumpka just past Julia Tutwiler Prison?
No, I don't think I have.
A walk in the woods or down on the beach.
Was there somewhere I can pick blueberries like Henry Fonda?
Probably.
Well, there was a blueberry patch down around Loango. Are you familiar with Loango?
No, but I can become
It's just
familiar.
outside of Red Level, which is outside of Andalusia.
Okay.
Off of 55.
No, you're right. Just get out and but for 3 hours a day, I have to be here, and I have to see headlines like Marco Rubio getting rewarded. For what? What did he ever do?
Okay, since we're extending this conversation, you recall, was it last week or the week before when the explosion killed 2 men in Montgomery?
Last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
And see, those kinds of things get swept under the rug a good bit. That's why we continue to have industrial accidents. And depending on what you look up,
I think we have industrial accidents because it's pretty dangerous work.
It is. However, we have worked for centuries to make the workplace safer. And sometimes we have protocols in place and we go backwards on those protocols. And as young people take over positions from those who are retiring, somehow those protocols get overlooked or they're not taken as seriously, and this is what kills people.
Sure.
And that leads me to the next portion of this conversation. There's a nice little book. It's in the library at Montgomery. It's also in New South Books at 105 South Court Street, downtown Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
It's Death in Macomb. You might find it of interest. Might shed some light on industrial accidents.
Death in the Comb?
Death in Macomb.
In Macomb.
Yes, MCCOMB.
Mississippi, Macomb, Mississippi.
Yes, that is the setting.
Okay.
You guys have a nice day.
You too. Ta-ta.
Dude, what is this explosion? I'm curious. I heard nothing of this.
It was, well, and there wasn't a lot of detail because it was a pretty awful accident.
Where was it at?
On Twain Curve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
yeah, pretty bad.
Accidents happen, but stuff is old.
Yeah. No, and you got to wonder, like, if there's actual negligence on the company's part, that's something somebody should investigate in detail and get to the bottom of it. I would be hesitant to think about the families.
Yeah, that's sad.
Think about the families before you start speculating on it.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's pretty awful.
That place has been there forever. I mean, yeah, and I mean, things get old,
Yeah.
Erosion.
No.
I mean,
well, and yeah, just sad.
Yeah, very
really is. I mean, I think both of y'all have worked more, Eddie especially, have worked in that sort of situation where if things go wrong, it goes wrong really badly in the worst way.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. 272-9228. Thanks for bringing the show down, James.
Sorry, I was curious, man.
No, it's fine. It's just I have to get back, up my mojo to keep yelling about Rubio.
Yeah, get back on your bucket.
Right.
We can stand eye to eye.
You're right.
As long as you got a bucket.
You're not that tall.
I'm taller than you.
What are you, 6'3"?
6'1", man.
Oh, okay, 6'1".
How tall? How short are you?
I'm like 5'10".
5'2"? 5'2"?
I see what you're doing.
I got a step stool on the truck.
Don't break out a measuring tape. He gets really mad.
Oh, man. 6
Go
inches.
ahead. Like, go ahead. How tall do you think I am?
You're 5'10". That's how tall you are. 5'10" and a half, probably.
Yeah.
You got your boots
5'2"
on
and
today.
3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go. Tall man. You probably dunk on me.
Yeah, man.
We're playing little tykes.
Feels like a bad Roy D. Mercer skit.
Yeah, it does. It really does. The thing is, like, I can't dunk on him physically, but intellectually.
Sure.
I mean, this is why I have neck problems from the weight of what I know.
Or it could be just that big old head you got. But whatever.
All that looking up.
It's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this part of the program?
Yeah, man.
Brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing.
Good dude.
They really are good
Solid
people
company,
there.
man. In fact, I've got to call them up. I've got a little Airbnb situation.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's no fun.
Nope. You know how we talk about when you have something backing up in the drain?
Yeah.
Never good.
Oh, like it's probably like a tree root invasion?
Yeah. But I'm hoping it's something simple they can get in there and auger and take care of. But I got to call them this afternoon. So I'll let you know how that goes.
So you called 279-8919.
I did.
279-8919.
88. Well, it's on my phone, but whatever you said it was. It's a
Yeah.
speed dial on my phone.
Okay.
When I have
that's the
problems
way
like
to
that,
do it.
I don't want to go through the yellow pages. I want a plumber, James Cole.
Because it could be an emergency job
Right.
like that, especially if it stinks.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it could be more like this drain is clogged.
That's what we're hoping for.
And, you know,
augering.
and if you think, well, I'll just keep pouring this Drano down
Don't
there.
wanna do
Don't do that.
Don't.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Call up some professionals there at Cole Plumbing. Of course, they can also help you upgrade to, say, tankless water heater system, or maybe you're getting a taller toilet as those hips are giving out.
Getting older.
You don't want it to be a chore to sit down on the toilet.
Or get back off of it.
That's true. Or maybe you need new accessories for the bathroom and the kitchen. They can help you with all those installs. So again, that number for Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, What are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Join us tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 at Ask Telemarketing on Carmichael Road in Montgomery for our annual holiday food drive. Drop off your non-perishable food donations to help feed families in need this holiday season.
At Guardian Credit Union, we believe that banking should be personal, just like the relationships we build with members. Imagine a place where you're not just a credit score, but a valued part of our community. At Guardian, our dedicated team takes the time to listen, understand, and tailor financial solutions that fit your unique needs. From buying a car to saving for college and even starting a small business, we've got you covered. Come experience the Guardian difference and let's achieve your financial goals together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WATV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. You can always watch on YouTube, and you don't have to watch live. You could watch it after the fact. I know we got a lot of folks who do that.
Any time of the day or night.
Or you can always follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Joey Clark. And there's some stuff that just came out.
Oh.
You know who the new chief of staff's going to be?
Susie
Wiles. Yeah. Susie Wiles, the next White House chief of staff, privately told a group of Republican donors on Monday that President-elect Donald J. Trump would move on his first day in office to reinstate several executive orders from Mr. Trump's first term that President Biden revoked, according to two people in the room who insisted on anonymity to describe the closed-door remarks.
Energy related?
There might be something with that. Something definitely with the border. But and I'll take all this with a grain of salt. It's the New York Times. The comments by Miss Wiles, a Florida political strategist who oversaw Mr. Trump's winning campaign, were some of her first since he chose her last week as chief of staff. She was speaking and answering questions in Vegas at a private biannual meeting of the Rockridge Network. Rockridge? It's a group of conservative donors that was co-founded by Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, and that has strong representation from the tech industry. It is common for presidents to immediately issue a series of executive orders upon taking office, and Ms. Wiles did not specify which orders from Mr. Trump's first term would be reinstated. Some of the actions that Mr. Trump revoked, or Mr. Biden revoked of Mr. Trump's, was, say, the withdrawal from the World Health Organization, his ban on entry to the country from several predominantly Muslim nations, and his exit from the Paris Climate Accord.
I pulled up Biden's first 100 days. He overturned 24 of Trump's executive orders.
So maybe those 24 just put them back on.
Poof.
Ms. Wiles emphasized to the group that the window for Mr. Trump to revolutionize government was more like 2 years rather than 4. So being prepared on day one, she said, was critical. It appeared to be an acknowledgement that most presidents face a difficult midterm election cycle after 2 years in office. Transitions are both long and short at the same time, Ms. Wiles said, according to one of the people in the room. Ms. Wiles was the headliner of the 3-day Rockridge, or excuse me, Rock Bridge. I've been saying it wrong. I'm just a Blazing Saddles fan.
Doesn't make it sound any better.
She appeared on Monday before a few hundred donors on a panel alongside some other top Trump campaign aides, including Chris LaCivita, the campaign's co-manager, Meredith O'Rourke, fundraising director, Tony Fabrizio, campaign's top pollster. Other speakers were expected to include Bobby Kennedy Jr., Don Jr., and the venture capitalist Mark Andreessen. It is an interesting group that's around Trump picking things. Apparently, Elon has been sitting in on meetings.
We know he took that call with Zelensky, which was...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I wish we could hear that. Because I kind of feel like Trump was kind of mocking him and said, hey, man, pick up the phone. You'll get to hear it. Get some of this, too. Because you know Zelensky's begging. And I think day one, he's done.
You're talking about Vladimir Zelensky. How do you keep calling him?
Zawinski.
Kind of how I keep saying Rockridge?
Yeah, it's a putz.
That was the dude in Tommy Boy. Zelensky Auto Parts. We made auto parts.
yeah.
Man.
Even better.
Good call.
Doesn't hurt here. Here.
Yeah.
Great times in comedy. Why are there no like good comedy movies made anymore?
Too scared to make them.
Well,
Yeah?
You got stand up. Stand up's awesome right now. It's on
Stand-up's
point.
great. Yeah, that's why I'm wondering where's the comedic movie.
It's coming. It's coming. Fat Guy in Space.
Fat Guy in Space.
Bert.
Bert?
Bert and Tom.
Bert's movies so far have been awful.
Dude, no, what?
The Machine is not a good movie. It is not a good movie. Well, fuck you.
You suck in your shorts.
You probably like Rubio.
He's taller than you.
But no, I'd like to see
Did you watch The Machine?
I have not.
Okay, let's neutral party here.
It sounds great.
Watch The Machine. No,
It's a better story told on stage than it is like.
And then maybe that's why. If we saw the movie, honestly, if we saw the movie without hearing the story on stage, probably would have thought, like Seth here, it's a great movie. But I heard the story so many times, I just ended up disappointed.
Neutral party. Tonight, go home and watch The Machine on Netflix and come back and tell us what you think.
No.
Dude, it's worth it, man. I swear it's funny.
It is a funny movie.
Yeah.
It's the first time you watch it, it was.
I thought it was great, man.
But I just heard the story. So
But Fat Guy in Space is the new one they're gonna.
Well, something of that nature is him and Tom.
Okay,
They
so
wrote.
Girls all right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm
No,
just
I
saying.
hope some stuff comes back because it's been a while since like a Tropic Thunder drama.
Oh yeah, man. And I mean, Tommy Boy and Black Sheep and all that good stuff. And then Farley died.
And
you know.
Dumb and Dumber was the original.
Yeah.
Not the sequels.
And I mean, I think that with stand up being so good now, that the movies are the next thing to come.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully.
so hopefully it's a natural progression, to TV.
We got to hit a break here. Top of the hour break. Coming up, we have a business break. I believe talking about Farm City Week coming up. Always a great, fun event. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And we were there at Ladies Night,
Yes,
Eddie.
we were. Did you see what he put out this morning?
What did he put out?
I put it up on my Facebook. Leslie sent it to me.
Okay.
Another beautiful piece right off Josh's bench that he's made. It's a gorgeous piece.
Yeah, it is.
And that brings up a question, Joey.
Yeah.
When you find that special someone in your life,
Yeah.
I can only assume you're going to go to Josh, describe this kind of person to her or to him, and let him make a piece of jewelry.
Of course.
I think that'd be the.
It's got to be done custom made.
I'm not giving you a hard time. I think that's one of the greatest things you could ever do. Once you fall in love with someone, you go
gotta be
and
custom.
have a custom made ring made for them.
I think that's
That'd be
about right.
amazing. Yeah.
And I'm looking at it now.
It's beautiful,
Just
isn't
go
it?
to Dillon Rings, Dylan, Dillon Rings on the Book of Faces, and it lives up to everything else. I mean, if not exceeds it. This guy is a true artist and really skilled at what he does. So yeah, if you are looking to pop the big question, maybe the election inspired you, maybe Bitcoin, getting near $90,000 of Bitcoin has you inspired to pop the big question. Who knows what it is?
Nothing says love like profit.
Yes.
That is so true.
People like a winner.
He'd put that on a t-shirt.
Dillon Rings can, help you win, and make sure you do it the right way. And it really was great to see everybody
It
at
was.
Ladies Night. Big crowd, and
Bigger than last year.
a lot of great sales going on. And, they're always ready to help you out because Christmas will be right around the corner.
Yep.
Thanksgiving's going to come and go before you know it, and Christmas will be here, and you're going to be in the middle of the Christmas season. You're like, oh, crap.
What am I going to do?
I haven't done anything.
Valentine's Day's right there too. Knock 'em
Right.
out.
Right. So get ahead of the game, especially you gentlemen. Or ladies, maybe you go early, you scout it, and then you put the idea in your
That's what a
guy's
smart
head.
woman does.
So y'all check them out today. You can always go to DillonRings.com. But I really encourage you to stop by 119 Brown Springs Road right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey, the fellow on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A new Louisiana requirement, the 10 Commandments be displayed in every public classroom by January the 1st, temporarily blocked by a federal judge who said the law is unconstitutional on its face. U.S. District Judge John W. DeGravelis said the law had an overtly religious purpose. Nevada residents returning to their homes. That's after a wind-whipped wildfire spread quickly near a residential area south of Reno. 23andMe is laying off 40% of its workforce, or more than 200 employees, and discontinuing its therapeutics division as the genetics testing company attempts to slash costs. On Wall Street, the Dow dropping 310 points, the NASDAQ composite 72 points in the red. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the horizon as a midweek cool front approaches, but today should be pretty nice with abundant sunshine, comfortable day, high 79, mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, overnight low 58. Tomorrow, clouds on the increase, but dry during the daytime, high 73. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Wednesday night as a cold front approaches, and maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning. We need the raindrops. Cool Thursday and Friday with highs around 71. Lots of sunshine by Friday, and a great weekend after that. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get 0% financing up to 48 months with approved credit. Now on select Kubota track loaders and excavators. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The person who died in a weekend Autauga County crash has been identified. 58-year-old Lorenza Cutler was killed when his vehicle left County Road 45 and overturned about 5 miles west of Autaugaville. Cutler was not using a seatbelt and was ejected from the vehicle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Tuskegee University is closing its campus again today as investigations continue into the mass shooting that left one person dead and 16 others injured. 25-year-old Jaquez Myrick was arrested in Montgomery Sunday afternoon and charged with possession of a machine gun, but he has not yet been charged in the shootings. The city of Montgomery honored veterans and those still in uniform with a huge Veterans Day celebration. The city brought back the Downtown Veterans Day Parade this year, featuring marching bands and dance groups. Afterwards, a ceremony was held at Riverwalk Stadium, where a Gray Wolf military helicopter landed on the field. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you, our generous listeners, to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive, benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Bring your donations to Prattville Carpet on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. Prattville Carpet. We're more than just carpet. Donate what you can. It's our annual food drive. From Blue Water Broadcasting and Prattville Carpet,
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. News and views in the afternoon, and joining us as promised, we have Mike Lamar with the Farm City Week, Prattville's Farm City Week. Mike, how are you doing today, sir?
Just fine, Joey. Glad to be here again.
Good to see you.
We always look forward to coming and talking to y'all about Farm City.
So this is the 41st Farm City banquet.
41st banquet. We started in 1982. We skipped 1 year for COVID, but other than that, every year we've done it since 82.
So for folks who don't know the 101, what this is all about, what's it all about?
Well, the whole goal of this thing is to bring our business communities together with our farming communities and shine a spotlight on what each group does and how they come together to produce and distribute the agricultural products that we need. And so many of us have the luxury of going to a grocery store and it's completely full of 10 different types of each type of food you'd like. And you ever stopped and think, how did it get there and how important is it? I can remember back the day that right before we were locking down the country, a Friday afternoon, and my family went to the grocery store in Prattville, and there was a run on all the food. And the sheer terror of seeing scarcity on the shelves and thinking about how you're going to provide for your family kind of brought it in focus. It's kind of a matter of national security. We need farmers and the businesses that distribute this stuff.
And so this is sort of like opportunity every time y'all do this in the year, about a week of it, but this banquet in particular, folks just to get to know one another, build these relationships.
Well, and it's kind of a unique time of year that these people live such different lives. Farmers this time of year out in the field harvesting crops, and the business people, but to get them all together for a night of food, fun, and fellowship, it's a really good thing. And really, Farm City Week has kind of evolved over the years. We started out, a couple of farmers started a little committee and had a small display ag products and banks and had a little meal with business people. But really, the whole month of November is Farm City Month now. It's spread out from kids farm tours to adult landowners tours to the actual banquet that we're having this Thursday night.
So when it comes to the banquet coming up again, like 2 days from now, Thursday evening, what's kind of the food? What's the spread? Like what you said, fun and fellowship.
This is a delicious meal. Karen Tucker Catering from Mataville has done it for as long as I've been involved. I've been involved 25 years. We'll have a delicious steak dinner, big ribeye steaks, and all the fixings, and then we'll sit down and honor a Farmer of the Year, a Business of the Year, and then we also sponsor a children's poster and essay contest. We'll have all the area school kids there and give them some prizes and just get everybody together for good food and fellowship.
So if folks are hearing this, they're like steak dinner number one, and it just sounds like something I want to be a part of. How can they buy tickets?
All you have to do is contact the Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce. It's $50 for a ticket, and if you call them at 365-7392, they can assist you and would be more than happy to sell you a ticket.
Well, I'm also looking at PrattvilleChamber.com, folks, and when you go to PrattvilleChamber.com, scroll down just a little bit, and then there you'll see upcoming events, and you can click on the 2024 Farm City Banquet, and it should take you to a page to get all registered and set up online. Or again, we've got that number written down here for the chamber, 365-7392. And, you would hope that in this area there would be good synergy between our business community and our farming community, because it seems so crucial, especially agriculture in this state is the backbone in many ways of our economy.
Well, it's shocking, and I got some statistics from our county commissioner we have 353 family farms in Ottawa County. I did not realize we had that many, and it's 104,000 acres of land that's farmed in Ottawa County, and $39 million in revenues generated. These people quietly go about their business. But again, if you can't market the product, if you can't package the product and distribute the product, they can't make the money. So each side needs each other, and again, it is really good when we all can get together and talk about that.
Beautiful. Now, is there anything, before I let you go, anything that we're leaving on the table?
Well, I will say there is, like I told you, it's all month long. We had a fall landowners tour last Wednesday, but coming up on the 20th of November, all public and private school sixth graders will descend on the Ag Center in Ottawaville for a farm tour. And we got the Southeast Raptor Center Birds of Prey demonstration. Cool. Representative Van Smith's going to come talk about being a cattle farmer. Drew Winland from Ottawa Farming Company is going to have an equipment demonstration. So there's a lot for these kids to do. And also, as part of our event Thursday night, we are doing a canned food drive for the Ottawa Food Pantry, and they do a wonderful service to the citizens of Ottawa County. So we ask people to bring a canned good to the event to support them as well.
So folks want to celebrate this month, want to join in on this month, again, can go to PrattvilleChamber.com or just search out for the Prattville Ottawa Chamber on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Or just get in touch. Again, 365-7392.
Call them. They'll be glad to help you out.
Well, it's good seeing you, Mike.
Good to see you again.
The show continues on, folks. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed to keep out of reach of children.
Try Sinclair's East. Fine dining. Vaughn at Taylor. Planning a party? Try Sinclair's.
About 15 years ago, we took over the room downstairs from it, and it's a neat private room. It has its own separate entrance, has its own separate restroom. It can be one big room that'll seat up to about 60 people, or it's got a nice divider in it that we can split it up and have about 30, 35 on one side and 15 to 20 on the other side.
The party food options are completely up to you.
This can either be the same menus we serve upstairs, or we can do a special menu.
Book the party room at Sinclair's for your holiday party.
Christmas is obviously great. It's pretty booked. There's still plenty of openings if people will call, but I wouldn't wait too long to call. Call 271-7654 and ask for the manager on duty. Anybody there can help them. We encourage you to call and book it for the holidays.
Get ready to party. Call Sinclair's East at 271-7654. Sinclair's East. Fine dining. Vaughn at Taylor.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. Appreciate Mike Lamar stopping by. Always a great big event there for the Autauga County Prattville Chamber, and you all get by there for that great banquet, and it's a good cause too. Everybody doing a food drive this time of year, as are we here at Blue Water. So y'all get out there. Any food that non-perishable stuff, so like pasta and canned stuff. The food drive is ongoing. I think we're doing it for only another week, though, folks. So, like today, they were at Rick's Jewelers. Tomorrow, our team, the Blue Water team, will be at ASK Telemarketing, and that'll be from 11:30 to 12:30. But they're looking for things like canned goods, pasta, rice, anything from your pantry. Drop them off. Any convenient sponsor. I highly recommend, if you're in the Prattville area, go to Prattville Carpet. They're ready. They got the blue barrel ready for you.
He said there were 328 farmers in Autaugaville. That's a
nuts.
lot, man.
It
Wow.
really is a lot.
I mean, I know there's some space out there, but that's a lot of space.
No, and that's what I always just assumed about this area, that agriculture is a massive thing. And that's just talking about family farmers. I know big agriculture is also a thing.
Crazy, man. Just in Autauga.
Now, there's news coming out of Ohio. But before I get to that news, here's a clip of a fella that, Eddie and I got up for a second. Here's a clip of Eddie and I. We kind of fell in love with this guy, right? Not Jonathan Carl of ABC, but the guy that folks are like, really? You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Vivek?
I'm sure.
I'm sure. I think
Solid.
Vivek's great.
Solid, baby.
All day, every day. Take it to the bank. A lot better than Rubio. Anyway, here's Vivek kind of laying out, Trump's serious. Trump meant what he said when it comes to, say, mass deportation.
Mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. First of all, do you really think that we're going to see him round up and deport upwards of 11? Sometimes he's put the number as high as 20 million people out of the United States. Is that really going to happen?
Donald Trump's campaign promise was the largest mass deportation in American history.
Okay.
And he's going to keep that promise. And I'll tell you, let's just start very pragmatically here. I think most Americans agree with this. You take the number of people who have entered the country just in the last 18 to 24 months. That's millions of undocumented immigrants, illegal migrants, who have really no place in this country. Anybody who's committed a crime. Automatically, that already is the largest mass deportation in American history. Now take that to the next level. Not an iota, not a cent of government spending should go to subsidize this, not to sanctuary cities, not to federal aid to people who are in this country illegally. And we're going to see a large number, by the millions, of self-deportations as well. And so these are pragmatic places to start that would give us, yes, the largest mass deportation in American history.
But fall far short of 11 million or more.
We're going to go step by step aggressively. Donald Trump's going to stay true to his campaign pledge, but in a way that respects the dignity of the Americans who are already here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done with Jonathan Carl. No, I just love how Vivek handles these people. And the news is, coming out of Ohio, that the race is on to replace Vice President-elect J.D. Vance's position in the Senate.
Right.
There are two top GOP strategists telling the New York Post only two real candidates remain, Jane Timken and Vivek Ramaswamy. Timken is a Harvard-educated attorney and Ohio Republican Party chair, is a slight favorite in the eyes of Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, but the deciding factor will be President-elect Donald Trump. If he decides to pressure DeWine and ask him to appoint a more Make America Great Again candidate, Ramaswamy will win the seat. Heck, I think Ramaswamy could win governor in that state at this point. So. I mean, what? Just from, not the literal content of what he's saying, but especially, I would love your take on this, Byron, how he did it. This guy had, hardly any name ID. There are a few folks, I guess, who read his books, and he had a little bit of media because of the books he wrote. But it's like this guy comes out of nowhere. And I know for a fact, there were a lot of people, successful business people with a lot of money, who did not get any traction.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think he pulled this off? He just, for some reason, he seems like the next big star, one of them, coming up.
Some people have that je ne sais quoi, and some people don't, man. I mean, he's got the intellectual fortitude to go toe-to-toe with anyone who presents in a good way.
I don't know what je ne sais quoi means.
That little something.
Mm-hmm.
That X factor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Extra.
Oui.
Yeah.
But he's I think the transition to Senate would be beautiful. I don't know what sort of coattails DeWine has for the other guy to ride. This guy doesn't need any coattails to ride, but an endorsement from Trump in the GOP primary, whether he gets the appointment or not, he walks in.
Well, and I think Vivek, like when he went to visit Springfield after they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Like when all that went down, Vivek actually, grew up in Springfield, around there, like knows the place. And so stopped by, and there's a guy saying, please run for governor. The entire crowd standing ovation. And I think the guy could take Mike DeWine's job if he wanted it. And the question to me is more, does Vivek want to be a senator? Does he want to go work in that private club that's publicly elected that we call the United States Senate? I don't know if he seems to be the guy who likes being the CEO, calling all the shots, not somebody who's playing along on a committee.
Well, I mean, being a U.S. senator is nothing to scoff at. I don't know what other ambitions he might have immediately, but that seems like the top gig that he could get right now above anything in the cabinet.
Right.
I think he needs the seasoning. And going back to why he got traction when some people don't or didn't, a lot of my criticisms this campaign cycle has been, we all see what the problem is, provide solutions, give us some substance. He did that in spades.
Yeah, over and over and over
Whereas
again.
a lot of people were just talking points. We need to do this. We need to do this. He would offer the how.
Yeah. And, if I saw that announcement that he's going to take J.D. Vance's seat, I think it would be beautiful. By the way, I think him, J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Usha Vance all were in the same class, I think, at Yale Law School, which is nuts.
Ivy Leaguers.
No, but it is kind of crazy, how y'all have known each other that long and been in that group. And apparently there's a chain email or group message or whatever app of all the alum from that year at Yale. And let's just say amongst that crowd, JD and Vivek are not very popular. But that's one thing I do like is these Ivy Leaguers that, get that great education, but then they don't toe the line that you're also taught about in the Ivy League. And they just go do their own thing.
I just want to see the Republican club from every Ivy League school over the past 20 years. How many people are actually standing there for the photo?
Right.
4, 6, a baker's dozen. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm kind of in the camp of let the Ivy League be just as passe as corporate media.
No, but I mean, for those conservative students to be able to go to those institutions and maybe win back some hearts and minds, I want to know who those people are that braid that environment.
Yeah, I mean,
just neither here nor there.
We'll see. 272-9228. Now, on this theme of mass deportations, we're going to go out of this segment with another great clip from Peter St. Onge.
Going back to the executive orders that Biden overturned, 10 of the 24 directly related to immigration. So I wouldn't be surprised if the first 10 are all immigration.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And clearly things like the Paris Climate Accord, stuff that's just he's going to do it immediately. Those are layups there. And I think informally, Trump is going to make a difference on foreign policy. Everybody's getting hung up on these appointments, myself included, about Rubio.
I think the fact that he's just there makes a big difference.
Yes.
100.
I think not just, I disagree with the judge. I think it's not just Ukraine. I think what's going on with Israel actually gets wrapped up a lot quicker than people think.
I don't know, man. I saw that old clip from Netanyahu talking about removing Saddam from, I think it was 91, 92.
Oh, yeah.
He's been banging this drum for a long, long time.
Well, and the folks that push that on the American side are like, what we'll get is a Hashemite king, the king of Jordan. It's like, no, you dopes. You turn Baghdad from a majority Sunnite city to a majority Shiite city, and then the one Shiite militia, which was brutal, militias can be in that part of the world, that was nationalist, you had the Marines fighting.
Yep.
So, you essentially gave over Iraq to the Iranians. The whole point was to push back the Persian influence. Instead, you handed it over to them. Like, what the heck will we even do? Oh, well, we got to go back in now. We'll do the Arab Spring. That'll help. They've been messing around with this part of the world. And it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. I think Trump's strategy, if I could put it in simple terms, is negotiate from a position of strength. Back the strong horses in the region, which would be Israel, which would also be the Arab thing, like the Arab states, the Gulf Arabs. And you have that, the Abraham Accords, I think, shows a lot of where they wanted to go long term. And I think it would have worked. Where you put Iran in a box. You know, we don't want to go to war with them. We don't want regime change. We're not going to go full on John Bolton or Lindsey Graham.
Right.
But what we are going to do is back people very clearly in this part of the world. And we're going to push long-term peace agreements. And that includes not being stuck in the same fight that's been going on for now 80 years between Israel and the Palestinians. Especially, well, we're going to have peace. Oh, this time?
No.
How about we try a different approach?
When was the revolution in Iran? 77?
79.
79?
Mm-hmm.
We're not that far away from what that country used to be. So I got to differ with you that we don't need regime change. I just don't think it needs to happen militarily.
Yeah, no, that's kind of the policy, is continue to put pressure on them. But, the idea of let's go and bomb all their nuclear sites or their oil fields seems insane to me.
Agreed.
I think the better approach is you back particular people that want to push back that influence. And also, this is very important because you don't want the Saudis, and the Saudis especially, to start jumping in more with this multipolar coalition that's pushing back against the United States. You got to give them enough incentive. And it's like right from the get-go, the Biden administration started thumbing their nose at the Saudi royalty. And it's just like, why do you think this JCPOA, this whole Iran nuke deal, is going to work? I just don't buy it. Like, I really have very little respect for the diplomatic corps. That's at the UN, that's been in the State Department. They're brilliant people in terms of raw IQ. Don't get me wrong. They can run circles around most folks in terms of just raw intellect. But dadgummit, y'all suck at what you do.
Well, it's almost like if you have a bunch of competing human interests, cross-culture, religion, ethnicity, in a little powder keg like that, then it's kind of hard to imagine or write an equation to determine the outcome. So they may be as smart as, whatever when it comes to taking a test, but being able to corral that sort of just power, you can't do it.
Well, there's two ways to do it.
How do you manage that?
There's two ways to do it. I think the approach for the longest time has been like kind of play both sides. Play both sides against one another quietly, or I don't think it's worked very well. You can either like back the strong horse and back them hard to where you're not even going to have to make good on your threats. It's like, well, don't even go there, or you just get out entirely.
Okay.
But it's either get in the game or get out is my point.
All right, so we're backing that strong horse.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get that horse back into the barn or back into the stables, or are we just going to let it keep running, wide open down the track?
Oh, no, back to the barn.
That's going to be a little bit more difficult.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
Because that horse needs oats. Hope folks are following along with that analogy, this extended
it makes
metaphor.
sense to me.
Yeah. 272-9228. So let's go out of this segment because, again, you're going to see a lot of kvetching from the media, and that you better believe there's going to be a lot of media waiting for that money shot of like, you're separating a family.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this heavy-handed approach by ICE or something. They're waiting for that so they can start doing the whole kids in cages thing again.
Stephen Miller is going to be the first Nazi that Trump appoints. Like, that is going to be posted on social media. You will see Stephen Miller as a Nazi.
But he's Jewish.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter.
Wow.
Anyway, here's Peter St. Onge breaking down, this is how it's actually going to work. The largest mass deportation since FDR.
Mass deportations are coming, which feels about right given we're a democracy. Nearly 60% of Americans want mass deportation of illegals who are, after all, breaking the law by trespassing on our republic. So how fast and who goes first? After Joe Biden's communist handlers let perhaps 20 million illegals into our country, many of them murderers and rapists because sadly some countries did not send their best, Donald Trump has now promised the largest mass deportation in U.S. history. Now, the current record holder is Franklin D. Roosevelt, who deported 2 million overwhelmingly Mexican immigrants. I mentioned in a recent video how FDR's deportations included citizen children of illegals, so that is perfectly legal. They will pretend it is not. The active deportations will start with criminals and will essentially be arrests, but the real magic happens in the background, self-deportations. I mentioned in a recent video how up to 90% of FDR's deportations were actually self-deportations because they didn't want to get arrested on the way out. Today, we'd be looking at 15 million self-deportations if that pattern holds. Now, Wall Street Silver recently suggested some ways to get these self-deportations rolling, including cutting all financial benefits from food stamps to rent subsidies, from free apartments to Obama phones. This would, of course, free up resources for, say, homeless combat veterans. Next, cancel the so-called temporary refugee status that hands out work permits like candy and is apparently killing bee pets in Springfield. Then the big one, crack down on employers who hire illegals. Now, that is already illegal with up to 6 months in prison, but it is not enforced. Next up is the border to both stop the flow of new entrants and ensure deportations are not a revolving door. Donald Trump plans to finish his wall, of course, and to restore his Remain in Mexico policy that makes illegals stay in Mexico while they're being processed, which can take years. After all, beggars do not get free caviar, and a true refugee should be perfectly happy with Mexico, which is a country over 1 million Americans retired to. In case Mexico does not play ball, Trump is threatening a 25% tariff on everything Mexico exports to us if they do not get illegal immigration under control. So Mexico may not pay for the wall, they will be the wall. Beyond deportations, Trump wants more screenings for immigrants so we can continue to attract the best and brightest without getting swamped by criminals and welfare cases. Ideally, we would replace our current bubblegum and baling wire immigration system with a point system like Japan uses, where you get points for education, income, career achievements, and age, so you're not a burden on the health system. Prove enough points and you're in, fail, and you are out for good. Finally, what does mass deportation do to the economy? In short, millions of jobs open up for Americans, along with millions of houses. The Americans will get higher wages, lower rents, and of course, we're not spending hundreds of billions on welfare for illegals. Inflation and GDP depend on the magnitude, so how high are the wages, how low are the rents, how many people leave, and what were they contributing, if anything. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. Mass deportations will begin once Trump takes office, starting with criminals. For the rest, simply enforcing existing law will, going by history, do almost all the work. As for those who refuse to go, the American military has 1.5 million men. They would probably love to get a mission that actually does protect the country. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.
Again, folks, that is Peter St. Onge. Always love his content. That's why we always bring it to you. This is part of the program. In fact, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer or you're thinking about getting yourself in a position to buy a home. You got to go with Alabama Home Mortgage. You know, they have the skills second to none, but they don't have, say, the pressures that come when you deal with a big bank, pressures that behind the scenes that, might show up that means you're not getting the best deal. No, right. Go with a great local shop with Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon there at Alabama Home Mortgage. And there's not going to be any surprises on closing day. I think they have some of the lowest closing costs
yes, they do.
in the entire area. It's pretty amazing stuff. And then when you're talking about, say, a refinance deal, they have some of the fastest turnarounds in the area. So maybe you've been waiting for the election. Well, the election came and gone. It's great news for most folks here in Alabama in this area. So if you've been on the fence, wondering, should I refinance? What's going to happen with interest rates? Is this the right move for me? Well, at least call up Kim and Madeline and have a conversation so they can tell you, here's the right strategy. Let them get to know you, your goals in refinancing your home. And especially if you're a veteran, they have some amazing deals and can very quickly get you through the VA home loan process. Again, I think that turnaround time on average, something like 16 days. Pretty remarkable. So call them up today. That number 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online to myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Matt will improve that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Now I get why Peter's saying, I didn't respond back to my messages, because he's on Fox Business at this time of the day on a regular basis. Dadgummit.
Dress is just a little sharper on there.
No, he was very nice about it. He's like, yeah, I remember hanging out, and he's on with Charles Payne on Fox Business at the moment.
Thanks, brother.
He looks
And
good, man.
he told me to get in touch with him near the end of October, and I did, and I got no response. I really am going to try to get Peter on the show, though, because great guy, incredible insight across the board, not just policy, but, of course, economic insight. But y'all stay tuned. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the River region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
For more information, send an email to digital@bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Fall is officially here, and it's time to get your system ready for the winter. Call today about the advantages of the Clark Club membership to be sure you're covered. Call 277-2125 or go to clarkcomfort.com. Better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the horizon as a midweek cool front approaches, but today should be pretty nice with abundant sunshine, comfortable day, high 79, mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, overnight low 58. Tomorrow, clouds on the increase, but dry during the daytime, high 73. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Wednesday night as a cold front approaches, and maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning. We need the raindrops. Cool Thursday and Friday with highs around 71. Lots of sunshine by Friday, and a great weekend after that. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. You know, I'm still salty over this whole Marco Rubio thing. You're like, why? Well, here's Senator Rand Paul. This is a throwback, I think, to like the 2016, 2015 cycle. Speak up for me, Senator Paul.
How do you view Hillary Clinton in terms of her foreign policy views?
I see her as a neoconservative. I see her I see her and Rubio as being the same person. They both want a no-fly zone. They both have supported activity in Libya, the war in Libya that toppled Gaddafi, an intervention that made us less safe. They both have supported pouring arms into the Syrian civil war, a mistake that I think allowed ISIS to grow stronger. And they both have supported the Iraq war. So, I mean, what's the difference?
So Hillary Clinton and Marco Rubio are the same person. How do you define a neoconservative?
Somebody a lot of times who believes in big government, both domestically and internationally. And so many of the big neoconservatives came out of a movement. They were Democrats mostly. They were some Marxists and socialists, but they were people who ultimately came to believe that we needed a big government involved internationally as well. So a neoconservative often is a big government person for domestic policy and a big government person for internationalism.
How do you view?
And I love that this, you know, we're now, almost a decade later, and people like Jake Tapper have been greatly neutered. And there are more and more folks, say, on the new media who understand exactly where Rand Paul is coming from. So when I see the Rubio pick, well, potentially, has it been made official? I don't know. But when I see the Rubio pick, I'm sitting there going, this is not good. I think the guy has been on the wrong side of that same foreign policy that has not put America first.
Well, Fetterman thinks it's a great idea. He's come out and supported it.
Well, good for John.
Well, I just
Fetterman.
know you're a big Fetterman guy.
No, good for Lurch. Don't
I just thought, you'd want to hear that. Yeah, well,
throwing Fetterman in my face?
Well, you're a Fetterman guy.
Throwing Fetterman in my face?
You're the one that kind of protects him a little bit. I threw him under the bus.
I find him highly entertaining. It doesn't mean he's right about everything.
He's right about nothing. Nothing.
Well, why do big banks get bailout and everyday people
don't? Let me use my Google Translate because I don't understand English.
You know, I've never made a distinction on neocons on domestic policy. To me, I've always thought about neocons as just strictly foreign. When he's talking about big government, i.e. military.
To his point, when these folks get in power, they act like, yes, big government Republicans. And that's the thing a lot of folks, especially in the Twitter world, are pissed about. It's like Republicans now for how many decades? You act like Ron Paul when you're campaigning.
Yep.
We're defenders of the Constitution. When? When did you defend the Constitution? When you violated people's Fourth Amendment rights? Really? So, like, these ideas that, like, well, we want a small, limited government, except for, that $1 trillion budget to go remake the world in our image that doesn't really work out all so well. Like, I don't want the continuation of that crap. I'm not saying every idea these people have ever had is wrong. I'm saying them being in charge and driving the car has not worked out well, and they get rewarded for it.
Yeah.
It's like you screwed up the Middle East with the Arab Spring. Well, go work on Ukraine. Let's see if you impact the world that way too.
We'll come back to the Middle East. We'll let it simmer for a little bit, and then we'll come back and see if we can spread some democracy and freedom.
But it's not all bad news, because it is being floated that Kash Patel is going to be head of CIA. And so I tend to think you need somebody just like Kash Patel also over state, because we're having this conversation off air, Byron, like there's a lot of all the NGOs, all the intelligence stuff, all the State Department's sort of the front facing organization that deals with all these nations, but it allows this slipstream of corporate interest and intelligence interest. The national security state is like, there's so much there at the State Department. If somebody really had the prerogative to go around digging, I think it would be great. Like it's like Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay. Take a camera, do it guerrilla style, and be like, what the F is this that you're doing in Libya? You're doing what in Somalia? And just put it out on Twitter. Like, some of these folks need to be exposed, and Rubio's not that guy, but Kash Patel might be. So here is just a taste of Kash Patel, some of the things he was saying in this election cycle. If this guy ends up head of CIA, he might want pretty good personal security. But let's listen in.
24/7 declassification office, whatever you want to call it. Transparency, truth, whatever, I don't care. Sits in the White House, reports directly to you, and you take incoming from the United States of America. I want JFK. I want the 9/11 files. I want this. I want that. All the FBI, and this is a tool, this is something we didn't cover. What the deep state uses the most to cover up their corruption is an illegal application of the classification system. Remember the Lovebirds text from, this is a beauty, the Lovebirds text from FBI, DOJ land, Russiagate, Strzok and Page were texting each other. They were running the Russiagate investigation against Trump. They were the head of the counterintelligence unit at the FBI, and they're having an extramarital affair together. Can't make this stuff up. They're sending each other texts about how much they hate Trump and are going to create an insurance policy to stop Trump. Then we finally find those text messages. You know what the FBI and DOJ do for like a year? Redact them. Yep. To congressional investigators and congressional men and women running the oversight of their agency. That's just one example. But it gets even better. Here's the deep state full circle. Just last week, do you know what Strzok and Page received from the Department of Justice?
Cash money.
What? A $1.5 million payout.
Yep.
To settle a lawsuit that Strzok and Page brought for the improper disclosure of their personal text messages on FBI phones. And the DOJ just rewarded them. They broke the law. They broke the chain of command. They broke every regulation there is in the FBI. They weaponized the system of justice against a political target they hated. We found those text messages, and we got them declassified finally in full when I became Deputy Director of National Intelligence. And the world has now seen them, and they can read them. And that's the best form of transparency. That's why I want this 24/7 declassification office. Don't have me regurgitate it to you. Read it. Get the documents, get the files, get the memos. But the deep state came full circle and gave these guys a payday for rigging a presidential election and breaking the law. So now you know what happens. That's step one. Step two, get America the truth. And that's what that office would be for.
So this is going to be your interim CIA.
Yeah, something like that. No, they ain't going to take it lying down like I was telling the judge. If you start putting folks like this in it. And that's the problem. You put in like somebody who plays ball like Rubio, and they'll be like, well, okay, maybe. But then you put in somebody like a Kash Patel, and they're going to do everything with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I want.
He's great.
That's what I want.
Dead man tell no tales.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Right.
I don't care who's telling the truth. I just want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
Amen. And especially his point about how they abuse the declassification system.
Oh, yeah.
It's used, it's been used, and it's now apparent to anybody who's been following this, like right in your face for since the Trump era began. And yet, where's the appetite? I think it's out there in the public. I think it's out there in new media. Where's the appetite within the U.S. government? Again, we're learning. They are who we thought they were.
They've been that way, man. I mean, like, it's like the honeymoon's over now. Voters are seeing that some of the, promises may not be able to be kept, and we're surprised by this. We learned this lesson the same way, time and time again.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was getting ready for it. That's why I was trying to prepare folks, even last week after the celebrations.
Buzzkill.
Well, the system is still...
Could have let me have a couple more days. Just a couple more days.
Just a couple more days?
But no,
for
you
to
came raining the truth down on me.
Sit there and play with your
have a good time, enjoy it. I'm living the high life, all is good. But no, you hit me with reality.
Yeah, Eddie was sitting there reliving his youth, being young, dumb, and full of ideas.
Good ideas, too.
Yeah.
Powerful ideas.
Right. But you've had the come down now?
Yeah.
The hangover starting to set in?
Yeah, I've kind of read the tea
So
leaves.
we've all accepted we're not abolishing any agencies. Like,
I still got hope for one.
No, I still hold out hope. I like to get drunk sometimes.
Peter Pan.
Like, we can get drunk sometimes.
There's
And
one.
then make decisions, and it's like, oh no, I never had a drink of anything. 'cause
If
my
he
brother-
promised to eliminate 3, if I get 1,
Right.
I'm happy.
Like Department of Education.
I pick one. Pick one.
If you get 1, I'll be shocked.
Right. Yeah, me too.
I think the best you can hope for might be the changing borders are to like border administrator or something like that.
Sadly, you're probably right.
What a mess.
You said reality.
An absolute mess. Something that makes me quite happy, though, and this is straight up Schadenfreude. The pain and suffering of others is hilarious.
I didn't think you being Polish that you would kind of lean into those German.
He's kind of German Polish.
I don't know, but I think it's more Russian. I think it's more Russian anyway. No, sometimes the Germans come up with good stuff. Not all the time. Not all the time.
They're good at paperwork.
Sometimes they come up with good stuff.
They can make rockets.
So it looks like there are going to be massive layoffs at CNN.
Oh, yeah.
Massive layoffs.
MSNBC too, I'm sure.
Yes. So this is a story. Where is this from? I don't even know what this is. Puck, P-U-C-K. Puck. It's a P, folks.
Yeah.
News. Like a hockey puck.
Mm-hmm.
For about 15 or 20 minutes on Tuesday night, sometime after Sean Hannity declared that Donald Trump was going to win North Carolina, but long before his colleague Brett Baer was actually ready to make the projection, the network in a nutshell, I guess, Fox News was being watched by more than 11 million people. It was a capstone on an election night and, frankly, an entire election cycle, during which Fox figured as the dominant television news network. On one level, the 2024 election season marked an extraordinary triumph for Fox, despite recently being forced to fire Tucker Carlson and cough up $787 million because some B-team players trafficked in defamatory and backcrap crazy conspiracy theories. The network nevertheless maintained its prominence, posting several of the highest-rated events of the cycle. The first GOP primary debate had 12.8 million viewers. The Brett Baer-Kamala interview had 7.8 million. And election night, 9.8 million in prime time. Fox either more than doubled or very nearly doubled the average audience of every other broadcasting cable network. Incredibly, Fox drew a higher audience for Harris's concession speech on Wednesday, 7.9 million, than any of the other networks had on election night itself. Of course, success is relative in an age of linear television's decline. Overall, the total primetime TV viewing audience on election night was down 25% from the previous cycle.
That's
to 42.3 million this year from 56.9 million in 2020. On that first Tuesday in November, Fox had bested the competition with an average of 13.8 million viewers in primetime. 4 years earlier, when a staggering 71.4 million watched Trump versus Hillary tally in primetime, Fox News posted 12.1 million viewers. In that light, Fox's recent ratings seem almost Pyrrhic, a claim to the largest slice of a rapidly shrinking pie. Indeed, this election marked the first time since 2008 that Fox News averaged below 10 million viewers in primetime. But at least they're, still playing to win. On the other side of this leaderboard was CNN. Historically, CNN has been the decisive cable news winner on election nights. And in 2016, it was the most watched television network, period, averaging 13.3 million viewers in primetime. But the network's audience has been decimated in recent years under Warner Brothers Discovery and its mismanagement of former chief executive Chris Licht, or Licht, whatever. It's declined to an average of just 500,000 viewers on any given night. That Peter St. Onge video we played, is 180,000 views. That's just a 3-minute video.
Well, lots of podcasts we watch.
Most of the podcasts have well over that.
Yeah.
And they're often esoteric topics and like nerdy stuff, or like it's not mainstream stuff. And then you get into nerd culture.
Oh, boy.
You could have a nerd talking about Star Trek The Next Generation for 4 hours, and the video gets 3 million views.
And those are going to be real viewers, whereas a lot of that audience is going to be passive on those cable networks.
So on Tuesday, CNN's averaged only 5.1 million in prime time, losing an election night to MSNBC for the first time in its history, and coming in behind every other major network except for CBS. It's a staggering decline. One that many have expected, but to see the actual numbers out is incredible.
Are they even being honest with the numbers?
Right. You do have to wonder about that.
Because, I mean, you still got to sell ads. At the end of the day, you still got to sell ads.
Crazy times.
I love it, man.
Yeah, we are living in crazy times. And this is what I mean. Like, it's going to be an ongoing thing. Take, for instance, the Senate leadership fight and how public it's gone and people leaking it to Twitter. And God bless Coach Tommy Tuberville for just being who you are, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, it takes all types, and I stand by me holding out hope for certain other players in Alabama politics. Like, I'm not in the business of wanting to damn everybody, except for Rubio. But thank you, Coach, for making this such a public fight. And seeing Elon, Tucker, and, you know, other reporters out there really pushing the stuff. I guess Benny Johnson got the scoop about the inside voter, the whip list, and all this stuff. I don't think it's going to affect the Senate because they are so insular.
Mm-hmm.
And they really are pissed about how dare you send the social media trolls our way. We're the Senate.
The upper chamber.
Right. We're in the big leagues here. We get here for 6 years. We're here for 6 years. Heck, we're here for decades.
Yeah,
we get our names on
60.
buildings. All right?
60.
How dare you question us? So I don't think it's going to work too much on the Senate. But seeing this media machine, this new ecosystem, at least having an antibody response to what the Senate has long been, is beautiful to watch. And that is going to be the constant fight going forward. It's not Republicans versus Democrats. There's some of that. It's, again, going to be this new populist media against the old establishment guard in Washington.
We got to get some of these. Musk, I saw that he had a tweet that just said that Thune was the top choice of the Democrats. You haven't sounded like a normal political operative or just given taglines at any point during the campaign. Now today I wake up and I see top choice of the Democrats. Like, I wrote that tweet. Like, tell me one of these leaders is going to help us get to Mars and how. You know, like, don't sound like a Politico. You're not. I don't know. That just hurt me a little bit. I expected more from Elon.
Oh, come on, Elon. Well, he also seems pretty new to this dance. Like, to the whole politics thing. And we don't have time in this hour, but the way Elon runs companies is unprecedented. Like, there's no middle management.
He's quite
It's like him and engineers, and they get stuff done.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a father-son relationship with these engineers. So they, like, really care about getting the project done.
Interpretation.
And it's insane levels of human focus. You do not sleep. For the next month, you're not going to sleep.
Well,
get the job done.
His comment was very accurate and concise, so it's very engineered structurally to the point. No art to it.
Yeah.
All science.
Yeah. I'm just saying the way Elon operates, it is like the polar opposite of how Washington operates.
It's great.
Yeah, he owns a business. Most of them have not. Big difference.
And he is super smart for himself.
Oh,
He
yeah.
sold
Bought
land,
businesses.
you know.
Most of those have inherited business.
Yeah. And usually if you look at the business when they had their involvement in it, they've tanked.
Right.
So they go, you know, why don't you go run for Congress or something? We'll take care of this.
We'll see. Maybe Trump does have that wrecking ball ready to go.
Hope so.
He's just, he's like, let me appoint somebody
needs a
like
driver.
Rubio, Christine. Yeah.
He needs a driver. I can drive.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The head of the United Nations nuclear watchdog will be traveling to Iran this week to meet with officials, including its new president. Mariano Grossi says he hopes this meeting can lead to a breakthrough in monitoring the country's nuclear program. Fire crews battling small wildfires across the northeast U.S. A blaze in New York and New Jersey killed one parks employee over the weekend and postponed Veteran Day plans. A quarter-inch of rain fell overnight from Sunday into Monday that gave a slight respite to firefighters. Much larger wildfires, though, raging in California. Firefighters continue to make progress against a wildfire northwest of Los Angeles in Ventura County. The Dow dropping 246 points, but the NASDAQ is ahead 1 point. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333. 800-885-3333.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. Weather changes on the horizon as a midweek cool front approaches, but today should be pretty nice with abundant sunshine, comfortable day, high 79, mostly clear, comfortably cool tonight, overnight low 58. Tomorrow, clouds on the increase, but dry during the daytime, high 73. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Wednesday night as a cold front approaches, and maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning. We need the raindrops. Cool Thursday and Friday with highs around 71. Lots of sunshine by Friday, and a great weekend after that. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get a Kubota RTV with a $2,000 instant rebate or 0% APR, up to 48 months with approved credit. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
1819 News.
Alabama voters are apparently contacting and calling U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville about the upcoming choice of a Senate Majority Leader. Tuberville was on Fox News pushing for Rick Scott of Florida to be that next leader. Scott is up against John Thune of South Dakota and John Cornyn of Texas. Tuberville says that he and Alabamians want someone who will push hard for the Trump agenda to be enacted, since the nation gave Trump such a mandate this past presidential election.
I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, I'm not voting for Tommy Tuberville. I'm voting for the state of Alabama. I have got hammered from all over the state. Coach, we voted for change. We do not want the same type of Senate that we've had in the past. Let's do something different. We won't have another chance if we don't do something now. They're exactly right.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Brian Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
The victim killed in a shooting on the campus of Tuskegee University this past weekend is from the city of Troy, not Montgomery. That one fatality has been identified as 18-year-old Latavion Johnson. 16 people were injured in the gunfire. 25-year-old Jaquez Merrick has been arrested for possession of a gun conversion device. So far, Merrick has not been charged for the shooting itself. The Alabama Shakespeare Festival in Montgomery has a new artistic director. Quinn Gresham comes from Missouri, where he worked as an actor and director for 19 years at the Arrow Rock Lyceum Theater. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Sam, and I am so excited to tell you the last car I bought, it came from Riverside Chevrolet. Now get a load of this. Not only do they have a friendly staff that will answer any question at Riverside, they also have a finance department second to none, and a service department that's rated #1. Anything from pre-love to brand spanking new, cars, trucks, vans, they have it all. And at Riverside Chevrolet, you get first-class service. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net or check them out on Facebook. Great reviews. You'll love it.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed to keep out of reach of children.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah.
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. We got a full studio here today. Eddie Bader here. How you doing, Eddie?
Pretty good.
Byron Sheehy here. How you doing, Byron?
Doing well.
And Seth Spotlow rejoining us. Hey, Seth.
Hey, man. You look
Good to see you, man.
I see you too, man.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I try.
By the way, for the record, you stole that from me. I used to tell Greg he looks good. You got that from me, right?
No.
You invented that on your own.
That is me.
Thank you.
No, I started that.
I'm with you, Seth. I was there first day.
I
was so proud of you that day.
started that.
Because,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Greg looks good, man.
He does look good.
Yeah.
And
You
who
started
always,
to look good.
Who always tells him that?
I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used
Why are you
to
trying
do
to steal
that.
the man's cheese?
Because I did that.
I know. I have one thing.
I remembered. You called me a liar. You remember?
I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying you're lying.
I'm happy he's on my side for once. That never happened.
No, it was many a time Greg would go on a rant, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that sucks, but you know what? You look good today."
Did they air those shows?
Yeah.
Were you asleep?
See these.
I'm with you on that one, Seth.
Can't have nothing.
And I still got Romex Angler on the stream claiming I'm fat, saying I'm front heavy.
You look a little bloated today. Just a little bloated.
Bowling pin ish.
Good.
Just a little bloated. You'll work it off. You'll go sit in the sauna an extra 10 minutes. You'll be good.
Go take that walk you were talking about.
Yeah.
It'll help.
See what I
don't
can do.
care.
Yeah, no, I really, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's the jacket.
Right.
Yeah. It's the jacket.
272-9228. Let's go to Duke.
All right.
Hello, Duke. How are you?
Now, Joey, I need to go ahead and get on you to start with, sir. Now, you can't be creating a poop stain in your undershorts over this Marco Rubio cat. Understand, dude?
Well, I can do whatever I want with my undershorts, all right?
Nah, I ain't gonna have that right there. See, this. How you doing, fellas? How's everybody?
Wonderful, dude. Wonderful.
Okay. Now, Joey, this is a good thing. Now, you got to keep in mind now. There's a weak link in the Republican Party. Old Marco, one of them, and what's the other cat? Tim Scott. So once they go on the Trump team, Trump get rid of your ass. So, it won't be long, Joe. You get a wish, man. Everybody get a wish. He gets sent home. How about that?
It doesn't make any sense.
I get what he's kind of saying.
What is he saying?
You remember how we had a very good senator from here in the state of Alabama who got appointed to a position that held that position for about a year?
Yeah. Jeff Sessions.
He's saying it might be a filtration
Jeff
process.
Sessions, you go with Jeff Sessions and Pence and all these cats that worked for Mr. Trump. But what I'm saying now, that's a sit-home ticket your ass about to get, Mr. Ruby.
I don't know.
That's all.
I think he will burn through some folks, and I kind of look forward to that. And if that's the case, so be it. But Rubio,
The weak link's not gonna
Not so
last.
bad.
The weak was not gonna last. He wanted the weak wasn't Tim Scott here. I don't know if he's gonna make it, But that lick bootlicking he did here, she should have been the first one hired.
it's all about loyalty,
If
dude.
he make it on the team, he won't last long. Trump see the weakness in weak men, so he play with him for a little while, get what he wants, send him back to the house.
Then be done with it.
I did read where
Be done
Scott's
with it.
already angling for the national committee chairmanship thing again that he had a couple years
really?
ago. Yeah. And that red wave just kind of eat into the shoreline. I don't think it actually crashed in.
Tim Scott has never impressed me. I don't get the whole
But
preacher.
he should have hired Nikki Haley.
Oh,
Because
God,
he stood up
no.
to her.
What are
She
you-
the one who stood up to her to the end. She started licking boots like everybody else at
Wait,
the
you
end.
started this call by saying, Joey, don't crap your pants, essentially. And now you're bringing up Nikki Haley.
Either he knows exactly what he's doing,
Yeah.
or has no idea.
Nah,
And I'm guessing it's
he's
the
kind of
former.
professional at what
By
he's
the
doing.
way, speaking of crapping our pants, Joe Biden, I think this is going to be a lot of fun these last few months. Here, let's listen in. This just happened in the Oval, I believe.
President Biden, do you think that you can get a hostage deal by the end of your term?
Think you can get hit in the head by a camera behind you? All right.
Okay, do you think you can get a hostage deal done? He goes, do you think you can get hit in the head by a camera behind you?
I was bracing for him to be like, "You mean my own?"
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
Oh, what
You
a
saw him
last
on the
few
beach.
months. I think old man Biden is finally,
They
he
need to
just
put him
let it
away.
rip.
They need to put him away.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm enjoying this, watching these cats fight over a little spot.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's but anyhow, the Bama fans, they say Bama's back, y'all.
Hey.
That's funny.
That's good one,
I'm
Dick.
gonna leave
That's what
y'all
he told all
with
day.
Roll Tide.
Later, Dick.
Never went anywhere, fellas.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they're ready to help you fellas out, especially if you're noticing a whole basket of symptoms. Like you're a basket case.
Right.
Like you really are lacking that mental sharpness, that edge you once had. But you're also seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass. You're just always tired, no drive or energy, including a decrease in your sex drive.
That ain't no good.
This could be a sign of low testosterone. So why not stop by Montgomery Men's Health, and the providers there can conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation. For only $99, you also get a PSA check when you do that test, which is a great marker for prostate health. And it's a lot less invasive. They just take some blood.
That's right.
As opposed to, lathering
Get
up
to know
a
you
finger
real
or
well.
something
Yeah.
like that. And if you do have low T, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, great brother, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido. Just a fancy Latin word for wanting to do it more.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. So, I mean, there are a few things that are making me happy. Like Bitcoin just keeps climbing, man.
Oh, it's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to continue.
It's pretty awesome. Like, did it almost just hit 90?
Yep.
Wow, was it 77 last week?
Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
It's a huge rally. Like, I love watching this go down. I guess everybody's very bullish on the U.S. government and other governments around the world and big corporations. All these folks are jumping into the water. It feels fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, was Mike Rogers mentioned for the National Secretary?
Secretary of Defense?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so that went to Waltz from Florida.
No, he got the National Security Advisor.
Okay.
And who knows if Mike ends up head of DOD.
It's like playing bingo over here.
I know.
Check my card, see what I got.
know. It's just so I want to move away from politics and go to a guy that we were just talking about, Elon Musk.
Okay.
And seriously, Musk is the type of guy that's not only like, get it done, get it done, get it done. Like his whole engineering, I think, philosophy is, okay, design the thing, now take off all the parts you don't need.
Yeah.
Slim it down, slim it down, slim it down. In fact, you can take off too much, and then we can always
Just put
add
it
something back after we design it.
Manufacturing,
But
lean manufacturing, 101.
it's about getting very sleek, wearing it down, and he's knowledgeable in all these different areas. So he can actually have a technical conversation with engineers, whether you're talking rockets or artificial intelligence or the Neuralink chips or manufacturing cars, which ain't exactly easy, especially in the way they're going about it. Now introducing humanoid robots. Like the guy's kind of across the board, but you do know his big goal, right?
What?
We got to become a multiplanetary species.
Ooh.
And folks look at this and go, wow. I mean, he's already amazed a few people. So here's Elon. I just want to remind you of like what actually I think drives this guy. It isn't just politics. I think the politics was just something he wanted to get out of the way, kind of get some guarantees with Trump's victory that I'm not going to be thrown in prison or have my company taken away or be constantly held up by the bureaucracy.
You got to have an environment for the businesses to be able to thrive.
Yes. Yep. So here's Elon kind of with his big picture.
Technically, being a multi-planet species would increase the probable lifespan of civilization and life as we know it. So, I mean, humans don't live forever. But just because we don't live forever does not mean that civilization cannot live much longer than we do. Civilization lives much longer than any individual human. So this is not about like escaping to Mars. This is simply, I mean, I will die probably long before Mars is a self-sustaining civilization. It's just, I think, something we should do in order to have a much longer probable lifespan of civilization.
You might think that's ridiculous, but it's lofty goals like that that help you solve a lot of practical problems that help in everyday life, stuff you never see coming, even Elon doesn't see coming. And that's what I think this nation needs to get back to. We have been run by managers, incompetent managers at that, but we've been run by folks that are like, settle down. This is how it works. This is how it's always worked. Don't be talking about your dreams. What are you, a child? Adults don't have dreams. We have priority lists. We have checklists to go through. We have committees to attend. We have donors to... Well, I was going to say something I shouldn't say.
It was built on dreaming big.
Yes.
And having ideas that are way bigger than you are and then going for it. And that's what that is. And I love it.
Yes.
It's so awesome, man.
And seriously, you think about all the problems he's trying to solve with all his different companies, it all goes towards that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like before you ever get humans actually living on Mars, you could throw some humanoid robots down there and start building a bunch of stuff.
You know they can make it.
And they're already teaching the humanoid robots how to build the cars. And really the cars are just robots on wheels. Like this is going to a insane direction. And if the nation can sort of dream big, which it is, again, X is, I think, the dominant space these days, media-wise, then I think we're going to do amazing things despite all this this corrupt system we've been kvetching about, we'll continue to bitch about in the years to come.
I imagine that the rover on Mars will stop working soon because it has a huge hole in one of those tracks. And, I mean, it's not going to be able to move. It'll look around, but that'll be it. So, I mean, hopefully what you're talking about will happen and he'll send one of those AIs over there to...
Well, and I think starting today, or it might be tomorrow, SpaceX is doing a rocket launch every day for a week. A bunch of Falcon 9 missions and then another Starship mission. It's just back to back to back. Now, of course, weather and other things.
Sure. We got some good weather right now.
But the idea is like, no, we're picking up the pace.
Nice.
And that is one of the things that just in this cycle really hit me. It's like Elon can put the largest rocket ever known to man on a platform, fire it up into space, catch it, give it a big hug to come back on the same platform it launched from, retrofit it. He can send those rockets up into space faster than the federal government can do frickin' paperwork.
Our technology is going to hit a J curve like we can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Talk about a hockey stick.
Where quantum computing is going to take us and everything else. How old is this dude? Like 45, 47?
I don't know. How old is Elon?
I'm going to guess 42.
53.
All right.
Ooh,
so
49.
I'm going to say within probably in about 20 years, he's going to have sort of his Jerry Jones moment where he's got to win the Super Bowl before he dies. And that's going to be phenomenal for our species because he's going to push all his chips in on seeing something happen before he passes on. And whether that's just the first temporary colony on Mars or what, I think we will see some sort of permanent, at least the beginning stages during his lifetime.
You said Jerry Jones, not Jim Jones.
Yeah,
it's a
not
whole
the
other
devil.
end.
Jerry.
Oh, okay. Thank you. We're on the same
Yeah,
page.
Jim
there.
Jones. That's a whole other way to go out.
I mean,
They're probably both drinking Kool-Aid.
That was Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
Wow. No, and this, by the way, it is a fun timeline. Like the most entertaining outcomes do seem to like occur on this timeline. Where this is Elon. What we just played was in 2021 talking to the Babylon Bee. You remember kind of the final straw was old Twitter banned the Babylon Bee for a joke or some headline they put out. And the messages exist. The screenshots have become famous where Elon messaged Babylon Bee, what if I buy the place? And it is incredible.
Was it the drawing of the prophet? Was that it?
I don't remember the joke, actually.
The prophet Muhammad, you're not supposed to draw him, or it's a major sin. I think the cartoon is for the
if you do, yeah.
Yeah, you can't have any.
I think the Babylon Bee may have drawn a nice little cartoon.
Hey, all religions got rules. Nobody respects Christianity. Why should we respect anybody else's?
Christians also don't even respect their own. So,
well, I've eaten a lot of pork with Muslims, so.
Okay, I'm trying to see which joke got him banned. Well, I mean, it's an old Jimmy Carr joke where he's making fun of Christians, and he's like, and you might be wondering, why am I not making fun of Christians? And it's like, well, what are you going to do? Forgive me? These other folks are going to, the other folks might do something a little worse. Okay. The Babylon Bee's Twitter account was suspended, but that made its story go viral. What was the story? Oh, it was this one. It was a picture of Rachel Levine.
Ooh.
By the way, remember when that was announced that first admiral, so to speak? I'm like, they said first openly transgender admiral. I know it's a health admiral, but I'm sitting here thinking, wait, was Nimitz like a closeted trans person? Like,
I thought it was somebody's grandma and they just took the wrong picture.
But yeah, the Babylon Bee named Rachel Levine Man of the Year. That is the
there you
go. Love it.
That's the joke that got him banned, and that's the moment where Elon goes, "I'm buying the."
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
That's amazing. What a time to be alive.
Ugly person.
Oh, that's incredible.
Oh man.
Yeah, let me pull it up here on the stream. Like, that is that's the headline right there from the Bee.
That's a good head of hair, though.
You know how we'll have like things. You know how they preserve these great documents, like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and all these, like the Gettysburg Address, like the original draft, and all this stuff. Eventually, it's going to be like the Babylon Bees headline about Rachel Levine. It's going to be certain tweets from Trump.
Do you have that volume 42, issue 6, the one with the Rachel Levine, the hard copy?
Yeah, right. Or what was the one classic Trump, like, just great tweet? Because I've never seen a skinny person drinking a Diet Coke. I think it was something to that effect. And it's like, gotta love this guy.
I love Diet Coke.
Yeah, as frustrating as the system will continue to be, there's a lot of great things happening, folks. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's the Master Thespian.
Hey, Master Thespian.
Hello.
Yeah, I was calling in to tell you it was the Rachel Levine story. But you know what started it? Time Magazine named Admiral Levine as Woman of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened first. And then Babylon Bee was like, oh, we got to do better than that. So they came up with the Man of the Year, and that's what started the ball rolling. I subscribed a while back to their email, and it's terrible. The stuff they put out is just absolutely funny. It is so much. It's great. I don't know who's writing all that stuff, but whoever they've got, they're on it. They are on point. So it's nice, isn't it? It's just nice.
Yeah. No, it's like all this hope, and then you're like, well, we actually pulled some of this off, and let's keep going. That's why when I see like Rubio brought up, I'm like, ugh.
Well,
I don't want to go back.
I think that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why Gutfeld is doing so well on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a bigger audience than all the other late night hosts combined, because he's looking at what's happening in the news and poking fun at things that are ridiculous.
Being honest.
That works.
In a second, what do you think about this whole Senate leadership race going public, Master Thespian?
I would like to write in Bullwinkle, please. Do that. To begin with, it's Mitch McConnell trying to do one last power grab, which is stupid. He should just step aside and let somebody else handle it. But no, he wants to try to influence things. And it's stupid. It's stupid. They need to let the old guard go, let the new people in, and see what we can do. You know?
Yeah.
But they're not willing to step aside. They're not willing to relinquish.
Well, because they don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing this for decades.
He said we need the old guys to step aside and let the young people come in. And the Senate is exactly counter to that. It is about how long have you been here, seniority, again, the upper chamber.
Yep.
Yeah.
The term limits. That's why we need term limits, man. Give those senators 2 terms of office. That's 12 years. That's plenty enough.
Plenty time.
Oh, and that's if they don't come over from either the state or Congress.
And by the way, that's going to be a fun fight. If Trump really does introduce an amendment to create term limits and you've got this new media ecosystem, it's like, we're going to have fun with that.
I've fought that battle. I worked for U.S. term
but can't you just grandfather them in?
That's an option, but it still doesn't
No.
go anywhere. No.
But if you get it done,
that was
They're the problem. They're the problem.
Then you
Eddie,
kick them out.
Eddie, I'm saying that was actually a proposal. Like, y'all passed this, and we will grandfather you guys in.
Yeah.
And they were
They
still,
still
like,
wouldn't take it.
No.
That's how dirty they are.
They are dirty dogs. Well, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, y'all be good.
See you, Master Thespian.
Now, here, Rick Scott joined, I guess this is, is that? I go from Rubio to Brian Kilme. Kill me. But anyway, it's Rick Scott joining those guys on Fox and Friends in the morning. And let's see the case he's making for himself, at least publicly.
I'm very optimistic. I believe I'm going to win. Thune and Cornyn are friends. Here's what I bring to the table. I clearly believe in the Trump agenda, number one. I'm a business guy that had success doing exactly what we need to do in the Senate. We need to have a plan. We need to work a plan. We need to have a team. We need to measure ourselves. If we want to get all the nominees done, we've got to figure out a plan to get it done. If we want to get a balanced budget, we got to start today to get a balanced budget. If we want to get the border secure, if we want to get whatever policies we have to get through Congress, we have to have a plan, just like what you do in business. I ran a company with 285,000 employees. We had a written plan for everything to get it done. My colleagues have told me they want change. They want to be treated as equal. They want to be part of a team. They want to have an agenda. They want to have a great relationship with the House. They know I have a great relationship with Speaker Mike Johnson. So I'm very optimistic.
Okay, that's all well and good, Rick. But I was looking at this guy, and I still, I want Senator Britt to support Rick Scott. I do. But if Senator Katie Britt came out and said, I can't vote for him because he looks too much like Skeletor, I might actually respect her for that.
Very skinny right said Fred.
I was going with Eric's dad from the 70s show, Red.
Red. Nice. Good
a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that going
that's
on.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice pull.
What is that actor's name? Fantastic actor.
Ed something, maybe?
No,
His
that's Ed
character
Harris.
was-
but that's not.
His character was Red, I believe.
Yeah,
Red Foreman.
He's been in a lot of different movies and shows. Very good actor. But yeah, it's just, is that the face we're going to be looking at for the rest of, as the new spokesman for the Republican Party in the Senate?
Do this side by side with McConnell, and I think you'll be more than pleased.
No, that's true. It is an upgrade. It's kind of like Fox News winning the ratings war in cable news. It's like, yeah, I guess it's a victory.
If you want to call it an upgrade.
It's a victory of a sort.
Perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I'm thinking Thune, man.
Like he had a
Think it's gonna be
milkshake and
Thune?
he sucked too hard.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and that's what I am very tempted to try to reach out to people, be like, what is the average person missing? And I don't need dirty details. I mean, what's the average person missing in terms of the factors that go into deciding who you're going to pick? Because it's just like,
I think a lot of it's going to be the go along to get along.
yeah, who you have the past
Yeah,
relationship with. Yeah.
I mean, it's raising
think
money
ridiculous.
and providing for the
That's,
party.
yeah, big time. Raising money, no doubt.
Hmm.
Don't think Rick Scott would be a good fundraiser?
He's already had one guy. I don't think that he's more than adequate in the fundraising department,
Mhm.
but as far as the proof being in the pudding, what
Yeah.
happened 2 years ago in the election, he's got to own some of that.
I got you.
I mean, he was in charge.
Yeah.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. There at Pest Pro, Ashley and that great team, ready to help you out, especially if you have an emergency job. You've had that happen recently, right?
Oh, yeah. Had the old ants show up. And they were there within, I think, 2 hours.
Wow.
So it made my Airbnb guests really think the world of me because I was able to get somebody out there in 2 hours. Little did so they know that it's Pest Pro and it ain't just me. They would do that for anybody.
And you were doing the mosquito treatments all during the
Yes.
season. Still are?
Still are. I think we got one more month because we still had them.
Mhm.
I mean, we still have them.
Well, it's warm enough.
Yeah, at my other house. We still
You're
have
up there near the lake.
Yep. So we'll have them for one more month and then they'll come back. I believe it's end of February. They'll start again.
Hmm.
But in the meantime, they still come by my house quarterly and check on it, make sure everything is good. We have guests coming in and out, and so they're like a second or third pair of eyes for me. If they see anything out of place, they call me up and let me know.
So y'all call them up. Experience what Eddie's experienced, whether it's an emergency job or you're looking for an everyday pest control company that you can trust, that's local. When you spend your money with Pest Pro, it's going back into the community.
You ain't
These are
kidding.
great local people. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to pbsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team there that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586 368, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Join us tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 at Ask Telemarketing on Carmichael Road in Montgomery for our annual holiday food drive. Drop off your non-perishable food donations to help feed families in need this holiday season.
The holiday season is quickly approaching, and what better way to spread joy than by giving back to those in need? We're calling on all of you, our generous listeners, to make this holiday season extra special for those who might be struggling. Join us for our annual holiday food drive benefiting the Heart of Alabama Food Bank. It's simple. Just gather those non-perishable food items like canned goods, pasta, rice from your pantry, and drop them off at any of our convenient sponsor locations across the river region. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can feed families in need this holiday season. Bring your donations to Rick's Jewelers in Prattville. Rick's Jewelers, where quality and service shine through. Donate what you can. It's our annual food drive from Blue Water Broadcasting and Rick's Jewelers.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Hi, everybody. Weather changes ahead pretty soon as a front approaches, but not right away. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 58. Tomorrow, I think we're dry during the day, but we'll say increasing clouds. High temperature 73. Scattered showers and thunderstorms holding off till Wednesday night and maybe first thing on Thursday morning as a cold front swings through the state. Cool on Thursday and Friday with highs around 71. Sunshine abundant on Friday, and then a nice weekend ahead. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. And joining us now, a gentleman named Troy Carrico, I believe. Hey, Troy, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Pretty good.
What's up, We're all right. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, I've been listening to your earlier segments about the foreign policy and where we're going, Rubio and all this. Backtrack for a minute though, and you guys are hitting it. You're hitting it on the head. But let's talk about the overarching issues that we have. We have not had a coherent foreign policy, I would argue, since the Monroe Doctrine. Now, certainly, Joey, there were times when we had what I call situational policies, such as the strategic triad with China, Russia, and then of course other things such as mutually assured destruction policies to keep us in check during the bipolar world. But we have had pragmatism as our guiding principle, and that has caused so much chaos, so much trouble, so much pain for us. And, Joey, I always think about the exportation of Americana during the Cold War. The reason the wall fell was not because of tanks and missiles, a military-industrial complex. It was fell because of McDonald's, Levi's, and MTV. They wanted freedom, and that was a tangible export we had. Now we export what? We export women's suffrage. We export women's rights, tolerance, democracy, things that these tribal cultures do not want. I spent over 4 years in the Middle East, both working for DIA and for the Department of Defense. And I can tell you, the State Department is misguided in many of its policies. And you have a bunch of Harvard-educated elites that have no military experience trying to make policy, and it doesn't always translate to the field.
It makes a lot of sense to me. And I would say, yeah, I think we got a little fat and happy during the unipolar moment, so to speak, after, say, the Soviet Union falls. And there's a lot of mistakes, I think, that are made in that interim, but we are now in a new era. And I mean, what do you think in particular about the Middle East? I look at the Abraham Accords, and it's sort of a doubling down on that principle of tying the Israelis and the Gulf Arabs together and backing them to the hilt while putting essentially a whole containment field around the Iranians and sort of letting people get to know one another. Does that make sense to you at the end of the day?
No, not at all. Here's the deal. You have to understand and you know this. You've already spoke about it. The diversity of the Arab world. First of all, the Gulf Arabs look down their noses at all the other Arabs. Okay, if you're not from the Gulf, if you got petrodollars, you're an Egyptian. You are the lowest caste system member of the Arab culture. They look over at Iran not as Arabs, but obviously as Persians. And so I don't get the idea of investing all this resources and hope in trying to tie the Israelis with the Arabs, particularly the Gulf Arabs. There's no love there across the board. Now, backing up about the JCPOA and the agreement with Iran, a couple of things come to mind. Number one, we had a chance during the Arab Spring and then the fallout from that to help usher in regime change. We could do it, but we opted not to. And the thing is, now we're left dealing with a theocracy that views us as weak up until when Trump takes over, and things are going to change. Mark my words, they're going to change. And I don't know what it looks like, but I think Israel's doing the dirty work that we needed to be doing on our own. You know, you made a comment about the unipolar world. I think victory has made us weak.
Yeah.
We have lost our edge in these things, and we're going to need to get our nose bloody before things change.
Now, as we're just talking, kind of get your straight up reaction. Wall Street Journal just came out. Trump draft executive order would create board to purge generals. The panel could upend the military review process, and of course, the journal's characterizing as raises concerns about politicizing the military. But it would establish a quote unquote warrior board, this executive order, of retired senior military personnel with the power to review 3- and 4-star officers and to recommend removals of any deemed unfit for leadership.
Brother, there's a story, and I can't recall it off the top of my head, but I believe it involved the Iraqi Reconstruction. Part of the, I'm not sure, but I do know that Trump involved
Troy, you're breaking up. I don't think the DOD wants us having this conversation.
Montgomery internet.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, listen, that's another thing. I've got bad internet out here where I live in Montgomery County, out in Oak and I can tell you, it's a crime. It's a crime, Joey. It's a crime.
Okay, I'm hearing you now. Keep going the story.
Okay. Yeah. So back to what I was saying was, I believe that Trump called together his national security advisor, his Secretary of Defense, and I think Milley was there, and he excused all the senior officers and said, I want senior enlisted and warrant officers to come in, and I want to hear what they have to say. And I think this is a good continuation. And I think the thing, we need to expect what we expect. And that would be a very nice feather in his cap if he could do that.
Oh, yeah. Things do seem a bit top heavy. One of these days, I would love to just have you in the studio, man, where we have a little more room to run and just sit here and chat about your perspective on everything going on in this arena. And I think it'd be a good time.
Brother, I would love that. I'd be honored. And, I have a lot of poor stories, but good stories, too. But Afghanistan, Iraq, I've been in all the stands, brother. And worked out of embassies, worked on bases. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'd be happy to come in sometime.
Beautiful. Well, I'll text you. We'll get it put together soon. Thank you, sir.
All right, brother. You guys take care. Byron and Joey, have a great day.
Thanks, sir.
You, Troy.
See you, bud.
And met him the other day. Yeah. Good guy.
Respect anybody that uses terms like downrange and blue jean work.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Again, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And as we were talking about earlier, the handiwork that Josh Ryder can do, what I mean by that is the custom design work, truly remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be something like you want to pop the big question. You want to start a family, you want to get married. Well, why not do it on your own terms, like an actual sort of, style? Don't just go buy something stock.
Why buy it off the shelf when you got an artist like
Josh, right there, ready to go. Right. Help you out. But of course, it doesn't have to be your pop in the big question. It could be you want to remember somebody. Maybe you inherit some jewelry. It's a little dated, or it's a bunch of different pieces you want to combine together. He's done exactly that type of work. Could be you want something just fun. He can put that together for you. Of course, they're also buying gold right now, I believe. And they do so many different services. The custom design, from appraisals, truly great work there. Even pearl stringing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But spa treatment, so cleaning up that jewelry, making it shine and shimmer like it's brand new again. They're just great folks there at Dillon Rings. It's a full-service jewelry shop. You can always go to Dillon Rings on the Book of Faces or on Instagram, but I really encourage you to stop by their showroom at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery. It's just off of Atlanta Highway, kind of where Atlanta Highway, that AUM complex.
Yep.
It's where the old fun zone used to be.
Exactly.
So y'all check out Dillon Rings, and be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's hit a quick break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your updated market report. So far this year through MLS, there have been over 4,000 closings in the river region. Sellers have been getting on the average of over 97% of the listed price. In this ever-changing real estate market, I've seen more price reductions on listings over the last 3 months than I've seen in years. It's time to act for a buyer. So we have a greater supply of homes for people to see before they buy. We have an average price of $261,000 in our area. Local mortgage companies have come up with really attractive plans for first-home homebuyers, such as down payment assistance, lender credits to help on the closing costs, and buy-down plans to buy down the starting rate for borrowers. Investing in yourself and your community is life-changing for first-home homebuyers. You need a buyer agent to represent your interest and give you great advice. For all this information, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi, I'm Paul Doe. Me and my wife Jessica own the Seafood Bistro over here in Perry Hill and Carmichael. We've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for going on 3 years now. It has been a great turnout. It's been a pleasure partnering with a local company like Blue Water. And if you have your own business, I suggest teaming up with a partner like Blue Water Broadcasting. It's a local company that helps local businesses.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the river region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Closing moments of the program here. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. In just a second. There's a new top story there at 1819news.com. Alabama State Health Officer Harris, Scott Harris, claims transparency. Says answering why important for public sector.
Okay.
Seems like a change of heart.
A little bit.
But Alabama State Health Officer Dr. Scott Harris, this is written up by Erica Thomas, stressed the importance of transparency and taking responsibility on the Public Health Review Morning Edition podcast.
This is the dude who was instrumental in the whole COVID.
Yes.
For shutting
Yeah.
churches, businesses,
Yeah.
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Transparent.
Quote, I think we've always been used to feeling like we understand science and we understand health and we're the best ones to give advice, and people are deliberately avoiding the experts now, Harris said. So it is a crucial time. Trust in public health continues to be on the top of everyone's mind.
I love that these people had to have polling numbers to tell them that credibility is important to
Right.
voters.
Harris was named president of the Association of State and Territorial Health Officials, a nationwide nonprofit organization with ties to George Soros.
Shocking.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, Harris's mandates were highly criticized. Alabama changed its laws on how the state health officer is appointed to avoid future mandates by an unelected official with little oversight. Now Harris says taking responsibility should be a priority. You know, we have to be more overt about taking responsibility, about explaining why we make the decisions. Explaining the why is a phrase that you've heard quite a bit as we've discussed this idea of building trust. Harris said the public health sector's collaboration will be critical in the next few years. Our agencies all exist in their own sort of unique political environment, and we have different areas of focus and different resources, he explained. But actually, we have this really common mission of promoting health and safety and wellness, and we are stronger when we all do it together. Oh my God, this guy makes me want to throw up.
Is that responsibility part coming up yet? Where he said, hey, you know what? I was talking out of my butt the whole time, and you guys have figured it out by now, so I'm coming around hat in hand, hoping you won't tar and feather me.
By the way, this organization, ASTHO, the ASTH, what is it again? Association of State and Territorial Health Officials. He's president of it. They focus on health equity.
There you go.
And states its partners, quote, must advocate for changes that maximize health and address inequities that exist among groups based on geography, location, income, education, race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, and disability. The organization also recommends states develop a strategic framework and inclusive policies for socially marginalized communities.
Got nothing for the guy.
Harris has publicly voiced concerns about Alabama's gender-affirming care laws.
Of course.
And though in the sense that he wants gender-affirming care, he didn't like the laws restricting, not being able to give testosterone to your daughter when she's a minor. Harris claimed his comments were taken out of context.
That's yes or no.
Well, in response,
yeah, exactly. How's that out of context?
It's kind of like the whole sex
well,
thing.
that's what he claimed.
Yes or no?
That's what he claimed. 1819 News then released the full audio of his speech to clear up any allegations of inaccurate reporting or claims that his comments were taken out of context. They weren't.
Shocking.
Harris joined the Alabama Department of Public Health in 2015 and was appointed state health officer in 2018. And, of course, the health department didn't respond
Shocking.
for comment. And I'm telling you what, again, folks, I don't often mention other people's op-eds. But I've had a little taste of this, back in the 22 cycle. But Leland Whaley, it is the top trending thing at 1819 News. It's been there since yesterday. And the headline is, Prove Me Wrong, Katie Brett.
Why do you think it's trending? Is it because of the subject matter or who it's the targeting? Like,
Both.
Is it because of Katie or because they think her vote's actually going to decide something? Or
No, I think it's both. I think there is a question mark over Senator Brett for a lot of, let's say, hardcore conservatives that did not vote for her the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
And they would like her to be more of a fighter in the way Coach Tuberville is. And I say, yeah, I see the pedigree. I see how she got to the dance. I'm in a place where I'm like, I think these practical politicians will do certain things when the right pressure is put on, or when it actually works out and they think it makes sense on their own terms. Now, again, I think it is subject. She gets a lot of headlines and has a lot of press, but it's also Leland doesn't write often. And he kind of laid it out there, this whole case of you're a creature of Shelby and McConnell and all this stuff. And we would like you not to be that way. Why don't you prove us wrong on this one thing?
Right.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
I just feel like the target of the piece probably could also be more construed to the voters and not as much.
Oh, to actually get her to
Like, I mean,
do anything.
Expectations. Like, what do you expect someone in that position to do? Why is this one vote so much more important than the 2 years of votes that she's had before this? If she goes for Scott, Thune, whomever, how is that person going to be markedly different from the other person as far as carrying out everyday Senate procedure? Like, why is this vote so earth-shattering for so many people? That's what I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around.
It is interesting. No, I think it's people feeling their oats. Like it's this new media ecosystem. Look at what we just did with Trump. But I think a lot of these folks are going to have a rude awakening that the reason Trump might very well be a great man of history is because when you look at him, you see what you want to see, not who he actually is. And when you look at the promise that he offers, the promise that you want to see, it doesn't necessarily always translate into hardball politics.
Well, you know what they say about history. It's written by the winners.
That's right.
So at least he won, and we can argue over that, or can argue over that.
2729228. Who's this?
Ray. What'd I put, Joey?
You put Joey down.
Yeah.
Hey, Joey, it's Ray. Hey, Ray. Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet,
Joey.
folks. How you doing?
Sorry, I missed y'all yesterday. I had a store full of people. You know, you did the food drive yesterday.
Yeah, how was that, buddy?
It was really, really good. And
Awesome.
I really appreciate Blue Water letting us be a part of that. And, y'all will be there again this Monday, but we have the collection center all the way for the next 2 weeks. So don't
cool.
forget to go by. I mean, we're all blessed.
Yep.
Let's grab something and help somebody who's not blessed. And so if you don't mind, drop it by the store, register for that new countertop while you're there, look at the incredible sale that's going on, chat for a few minutes, and we'll let you get on your way. How about that?
It's beautiful. And it might not be a few minutes. You might want to hang out. It's a fun crew you got over there.
It is a fun crew over there. Hey, real quick question. Do you think Elon will shut down the NPR?
Just a little downside. wouldn't hurt.
Actually, that one seems like an easy victory.
It does. So
not
therefore,
shut
no.
them down, but you could get rid of public funding. They'll still survive with donations, but
daylight saving time.
Yeah,
Did that
let
not
the
seem like
Democrats
the
pay
easiest
for
one
it.
in the world? Yeah. I don't know, Ray.
Let the Democrat Party pay for it. They've been
There you go.
free ride all this time.
Well, they're a big cheerleader.
But and the news media, I'm telling you, I'm gonna die on my sword on this one. They are in a really big pickle because people are going to quit spending their advertising dollars with them.
Yep.
They're out of touch with the truly populous America that are going to work every day, feeding the kids, trying to get the ball, trying to get them to bed, and get up and do it again the next day. And they are completely out of touch, and everybody just wants to quit spending money with them. But that's my 2 cents. But if y'all need a floor, call it. 285-8117.
again, that number for Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. And be sure to tell them when you call 285-8117 that you heard Ray Bowles on the radio.
Guys, have a great day.
See you, Ray.
Tulsi Gabbard's trying to worm her way in on Mike Rogers' position.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't like that.
I do.
I like her, but I don't like that.
I do.
Why do you want him to be DOD?
Personal reasons.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Who's this on line 3? You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Ken.
Hey, Ken.
Hey, Ken. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Yeah, when Joe Scarborough didn't know the price of butter, that's just the world how out of touch they were.
That was quite funny. Especially when
But the
truth
reason
came
I'm
down on it.
calling, I had predicted a long time ago they're going to try to put Kamala Harris in as president before this term is up. But I think that's coming. But I was wanting to say something really positive. I'm looking forward to going to Disney next year and going to the Hall of Presidents when they have to put the Trump animatronic back up.
Back in there, yep. That's right.
I cannot wait to see that happen.
I forgot all about that. That's right.
They always run the current president.
Yeah.
Well,
nice.
I got to make it to Disney
So-
World then.
Yeah.
There's our next road trip.
There you go.
Appreciate it, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Yep.
Well, did we learn anything today?
Learned a lot. Just
Learned
don't
a
ask
lot.
me to recall any of it.
Well, my disdain for Rubio.
I knew that.
But Elon really is serious about going to Mars.
Knew that.
The cable, legacy media, dying.
Oh, yeah. The Russians are threatening to cut the international cable cords.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nuts.
Learned that.
Yeah, we're just seeing the Trump team take shape, and we're seeing this test of will when it comes to the Senate leadership. contest. I am with you, Byron. Like, why is this such a huge deal to folks? And I think it is sort of symbolic of, come on, join the team, the cause. We're high right now. Drink a little bit. Drink a little bit. Take a bump with Trump and let's get riding down this road.
What if you're already on the Trump train? What's this vote going to do, man?
And I will say, Leland says in that piece that he's never been impressed with Senator Brett.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, did you see how she made Trump kiss her ring?
Right.
I hadn't seen that often.
Never forget that.
I mean, to see a young upstart in politics take out a sitting congressman who's known as being one of the most conservative, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, so I've criticized Senator Brett plenty, but good luck trying to sway her when she makes her mind up on something. Greg Vito, happy hour. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President-elect Donald Trump starting to fill key posts in his second administration.